Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It's a Monday and the preseason is behind us.
It's over. Now we can look forward to the real thing, but not without some fireworks over the weekend from our good buddy Jerry Jones.
Joe wrote an article. We'll start there at sasportstar.com. Very much a stream of consciousness without all the F words that were a part of a phone call, because that news breaks like 10 minutes after the Blitz on Friday.
Dude, I'm driving home. I hear that, and I call Minix, and I'm just like, dude, what the F and F and this and that? Couldn't believe it.
Well, and then Rudy, the troll that he is, starts trying to create a video. And I'm just in the back. Shut up. I mean, and that was the hard part, because we're getting ready for a high school game. That news breaks. So, I got number 1 versus number 2 in the city. I'm ready for this big game, getting all ready. And then you're in the middle of the game. So my phone is blowing up with everybody that I know. Like, did you see this? Well, of course I've seen that, but I don't have time to react to you now.
Wow.
And then our big battle between 1 versus 2 was 52-0.
Yeah, it didn't really turn out to be a big battle, did it?
Steel is that good.
Yeah. It sounded like it.
Man,
they were doing whatever they wanted to do. That's for sure.
They did. But I love, we got high school football season, regular season is underway, college football season started, and it gets underway this week. In fact, Jeff Traylor will join us at 5:15 this afternoon.
Navy didn't really get started, did they?
No.
So, what's funny about that? And I can't wait till we get into our Dallas Cowboys discussion, but I'll wait. So I get this text or DM or something. Some dude must be a big Domer fan and was listening last week. And, I even said, look, Navy's, they don't have a chance. Notre Dame's going to kill them. I was going to even take an easy beer bet. I let you off the hook.
Oh,
and this guy's like, stop being a hater. The Notre Dame's this, Notre Dame's that. And I'm like, but dude, so it's even when you say things for him or them or that team, you get hammered.
Well, did you really say anything for them other than stating the obvious? Well, that Notre Dame was going to crush Navy?
No,
I mean, I was trying to figure out how many points I was going to need to take Navy in that bet. Now, I would have taken Navy just for my heart, and I've got such a big lead in our beer bets, I could afford to give you one.
Well,
because that's what it would have been.
The line was 21.
And that wasn't near enough.
Not enough.
And honestly, the 30 that I probably would have asked for proved to be not near enough. Coach Newberry, welcome to coaching Navy football.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So it was just good to see it. I didn't watch a lot of that game, but, just seeing real football on was kind of nice.
Well, I'm guessing NBC knew that not a lot of people were going to watch that game, even though it was the only game on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the start of the college football season. I'm a fan of Jason Garrett, but my God, he was awful on that broadcast. I'm not sure if I turned the game off and went and did other things because of the score or because of Jason Garrett. And the damn clapping, on a 2 yards in a cloud of mud.
Nice.
He was not good.
No, he's not.
But you know what? I like on the USFL broadcast that I've heard Jason Garrett do, I like him. I think he can be a good broadcaster, a good color commentator. But my goodness, when things are going as bad as they are, I don't need to hear the damn clapper when everything is going off the rails for Navy.
Well, he had to entertain the group.
There was nothing entertaining about Jason Garrett in that broadcast.
Entertain all you Navy folks who were very depressed. And just for the record, I don't like Notre Dame. Okay, we'll just get that out. I don't like you. I like you. I'm not a big fan of Notre Dame. Not you.
Oh, the Notre Dame fans out there?
The fans out there, those guys and girls.
I mean, look, Notre Dame is one of those brands. You either love them or you hate them. There's no in between.
True.
Cowboys, love them, hate them. Yankees, love them, hate them.
Yep,
USC, love or hate them. I mean, that's just, and USC, my goodness. I said the other day, I look at their schedule and I think they've got a chance to go to the playoffs. Lincoln Riley still does not give a damn about defense. Watching San Jose State against that USC defense, that's going to bite them in the ass.
You think so?
Their defense, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but they just might be good enough to outscore everybody.
Maybe. I mean, one of the funniest things about that USC game is some guy who apparently does this for fun finds the worst seat in the house. And literally at USC, they did some renovations and put in a new press box, but they still sell a seat where you can almost see a portion of the end zone. You can't see the 5-yard line from that seat. And this guy bought it and took pictures of his view.
Really?
Oh, my God. It's hilarious.
That's like the old obstructed view in the Hemisphere Arena.
Well,
way back when.
You remember there used to be seats that you could get and there might be a pole in your way?
Yeah.
And there's that way. I'll never forget. We were doing an Army-Navy game at FedEx Field in Washington. And Johnny Campion was with us on the trip. And, in the press box, they assign your seats. And Johnny's seat literally was in front of a pole. Johnny had no view of the field from his press box seat.
Where was this? What stadium?
Washington, FedEx
Washington,
Field.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What do you expect?
Well, and Chris's was next, and the pole was there, but my assigned seat, at least I could see a portion of the field, but if I looked to my left, I saw a pole. It was the dumbest thing, and because President Obama was there, they kept checking the people that were in their assigned seats, because when the president was going to walk through, which he does at halftime, you have to sit there and make sure, but the Secret Service and all that was, constantly checking. So Johnny had a great view of that game.
Yeah, that should never happen in an NFL stadium, but it does. It happens. Yeah, the Hemisphere Arena was great. If you had a seat anywhere other than an obstructed view behind a pole, it was a great seat.
Yeah,
because you're right on top of the floor. Of course, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Before we knew what obstructed views were.
Well, the press seating at Hemisphere Arena, if you'll recall, was fantastic. We were right there by the courtside and by the baseline bums. And
how it was in the Alamo Dome, too.
I remember all of us just had our tongues hanging out watching people walk by. Certain people.
I don't know what you speak of.
Exactly.
What do you speak of, sir?
Yes, you do.
I have no idea.
Well, back in those days, like, I don't know, let me just throw out a name here. Sarah Lucero? Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what you speak of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Suki.
Pull your tongue off the floor.
Mm-hmm. What's the courtside seats?
Yes, that's nice. Because, I mean, we were right there, the aisle, and then the other seats were, so everybody that walked right by. It was a lot of fun.
That it was. Lots of football talk today.
Oh, my.
Lots of reaction to a third-string quarterback that won't make a damn bit of difference for the Dallas Cowboys this year, but it's what everybody is talking about. Rip up your rundowns, as Greeny did earlier today on Get Up. He's got everything lined up. They've got their whole show planned. I'm sure it's going to be nothing but love for Aaron Rodgers because it's Mike Greenberg. That's what he does. And the Cowboys trade for Trey Lance, and that's all anybody wants to talk about.
Like, we can't live in both those worlds. He is either the franchise, and I get the depth conversation. I get it. But because of what this situation is, to not notify him in any way, to not communicate with him in any, not only him, not even the head coach. We can.
All right, here's what I want to do. Everyone, hold on. We have spent 18 minutes. Hold on a second, guys. We have spent 18 minutes this morning so far on this story. And because I've not been able to interject, we've not even gotten to the most. So I am now on the air telling our producer, Sam Tanucci, whatever it is you had next, I'm officially ripping it up.
What's the most?
Well, see, it's on our rundown because, well, we understand Cowboy fans. What did you guys think of the Trey Lance trade? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can call, you can text, you can tweet at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there as well. And subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Yeah, please do that. We would appreciate it. I tell you what, I've been trying all weekend to make sense out of this thing. And I am literally surprised, and I mean this sincerely, at how many people think that this was a good trade for the Cowboys. And how many people just say, oh, but just a 4th round pick, no big deal, 4th round pick. 4th round picks, yeah, it can turn out to be something pretty decent from time to time.
It's a trade that doesn't make a lot of sense yet, but will it over time? We'll have to find that out. We'll talk about it as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, let me tell you about BraintreeNutrition.com, the website, BraintreeNutrition.com, where you can learn more and order some of the great products that 12-year NFL vet Andrew Sendejo and some of his former Rice buddies have developed for your overall brain health. I've been taking their sleep aid for several months now called Restore. Been a game changer for me, and their latest product, Brain Water, not your average electrolyte stick pack. Zero sugar, zero caffeine hydration formula is designed to keep you hydrated while also boosting your brain function. Not only will Brain Water keep you hydrated, it can enhance your focus, elevate your mood, even help you recover from a hangover. It's a smart choice for sustained focus and energy due to its zero sugar, zero caffeine formulation. You're not going to get that energy crash like you would with a sugary energy drink or caffeinated beverage. BrainTreeNutrition.com. Go there to make Brain Water your go-to hydration choice. BrainTreeNutrition.com.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, a hole-in-one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about advertising on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, we get this question quite a bit. Here's what you have to do. Contact Morgan Harrison via email. It's morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com. From there, she's going to have one of our folks connect with you on how you can advertise right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Or since Alpha Media is a full-service advertising company, online, other radio stations, and even television, since that's just about all through the internet. Happy connecting.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets. Order online at metalsupermarkets.com.
All right, team. Apps on the table by 7:30 sharp.
Jalen and his catering company have a lot on their plate.
Really particular.
He needs a bigger team to continue climbing up the food chain.
About this event. Hey, Mitch, was that a contract for 200 or 250 people?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first Apply.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about a company that I know a lot about. At least I know a lot about the folks that run it. It's called Woods Comfort Systems. These are good folks, and I tell you what, they've been in business a long time. They know what they're doing, and they are going to treat you right. I've known the Woods family, well, most of my life. I grew up with the Woods family back in my hometown of Alice, Texas. And Woods Comfort Systems right now has a great deal for you. If you've been looking for a new energy-efficient AC system for your home, well, today is the right day to do that. Right now at Woods Comfort Systems, you can take advantage of up to $2,500 in rebates, a free 12-year parts and labor warranty, and you get a free Solaris indoor air quality package to boot. Take advantage of these special offers. Give them a call, 877-324-6902, or get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. Woods Comfort System. Comfort is their middle name. License number 16934C.
For 20 years, Kelly Vick suffered from chronic back pain.
I would do something, and at the drop of a hat, whether it be a golf swing, picking up something, whatever, it would throw it back out again.
Pain relievers, chiropractors, nothing worked for any length of time. Then Kelly found QC Kinetics.
Listening to a radio station, I heard of QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, using powerful natural biologics to restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime.
And at this point, it's the greatest thing that I've ever done.
Kelly's living life with no more back pain thanks to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics gave me freedom. I am pain-free.
Don't live with chronic joint pain any longer. Call QC Kinetics today.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics.
210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318.
Tuesday on R&R in the Morning, Rob returns, and I want to get his thoughts on the Trey Lance trade and the fallout. Also, tomorrow is NFL Cut Day. Did my guy, my client, Malik Davis make the cut? And is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to be the latest superstar to ask out? Now back to the Blitz. Joe, how's your boy Will Greer doing? Are you happy? You sad? How you feeling today about that, Joe?
Well, I think he'll be employed by week's end.
You know, it's such an interesting development, and quite honestly, seemingly one that caught everybody off guard, from Dak Prescott to Mike McCarthy to Joe Reinagle to Jason Minix to Rudy J to everybody. Bizarre. What did you guys think of the Trey Lance deal? At Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix, or 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Ray Mendez 08 on Twitter tweets, I think the trade is great. We get a potential backup for a fourth. The guy went really steep for the 49ers, which I don't get. He was a bust in San Francisco.
I don't think there's any argument about that.
But I will say injuries were a big part of the reason he was a bust. And because of injuries, they discovered what they had in a Brock Purdy, which seemingly injuries led to the discovery of what the Cowboys had in Dak Prescott.
He was a fourth rounder, wasn't he?
He was a fourth rounder.
Yeah.
You know, Trey Lance being a first rounder, the Cowboys had a second round grade on him. The idea that the Cowboys have told us they've been trying to find a developmental quarterback to have behind Dak for the last couple of drafts, something that you, Joe, have talked about a lot. Why not have somebody there, draft people? Look at other teams that constantly do. And when the Cowboys have been drafting, if there wasn't a guy they liked there, they haven't done it. So now they make a trade to kind of fulfill that need, that desire that they had. But I thought they kind of had that guy in Will Greer.
Well, they did. I mean, they did. And anybody that saw that game the other night, Will Greer's got talent. He'll be on the field somewhere. Look, Trey Lance from North Dakota State. I know he's a big guy. I know he's got, I guess somebody thought they had talent. San Francisco gave away the ranch to trade up to get this guy. Passed up a lot of people, by the way, including some dude named Micah Parsons, to go get Trey Lance. They were so impressed with this guy after all that they paid for him that they said for you?
You know, there's so many unknowns, right?
Tell me what is unknown.
Well, they brought Jimmy Garoppolo back, even though they didn't love him, and then he was gone. You know, you can't tell me they loved Brock Purdy. He was Mr. Irrelevant, right? And in that draft, they had 3 6-round picks and didn't take a Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy wasn't going to make that team. Then he was the third string guy in injuries, and they get a Brock Purdy. They bring in a Sam Darnold. The idea, how do we know, and this is some of the unknowns, did Trey Lance ask for a trade since he knew he wasn't going to have an opportunity ultimately in San Francisco, because they have given the keys to that car to Brock Purdy coming off of arm surgery? And so did they give up on him, or was this more of Trey asking out and they do him a solid by doing that? Because they don't get much in return. From the Cowboys' perspective, it make sense to me, other than, and this is what I said Friday, my initial reaction, they traded for a guy to get the San Francisco playbook. They traded for a guy that can fill them in on all the things that San Francisco does to try to give them an edge when they play San Francisco in the regular season, and more importantly, in the postseason. Was this more of a move to download the intel that Trey Lance possesses?
Well, did you give up a 4th-round draft pick to just get intel?
Yes.
No, you don't. That makes no sense at all. What this was a Jerry Jones publicity stunt. That's exactly what it was. He doesn't tell Mike McCarthy, for goodness sake, that he's going to make this move. He doesn't tell Dak Prescott, which is really not as big of a deal as not telling your head coach. How do you make a move like this and not tell your head coach you're about to make a move like this?
Well, I mean, it's the words from Jerry Jones, even though I have a hard time believing it.
No, we didn't tell anybody until we did it, period. There was nobody that knew it. We told Mike after we'd done it. But my point is, we just wanted to get it done.
Have you talked to Dak since then?
No, I have not.
When you say you told Mike after, did he have any input on the decision?
Just that he liked him as a quarterback coming out. But that's our decision.
Now, so I hear that from Jerry on Saturday at the game. I got to believe, and he kind of said it there at the end, Mike McCarthy liked him coming out. They had a 2nd-round grade on him.
Okay.
So when they did the deal, did they consult with Mike McCarthy? Apparently not. But Mike McCarthy knew that there was some discussions going on. I've got to believe that Mike McCarthy, if he hated the guy and said, no, don't waste your time, they might not do it. But if Mike McCarthy liked him, then maybe there was an opportunity there when the trade was coming down, when it was breaking. Do we have time to get on the phone with Mike and have a big meeting, or do we just pull the trigger and not waste any time? And they just pulled the trigger and they didn't waste any time.
We didn't waste any time. The minute that we knew that they were serious about trading him, then we didn't want the phone to hang up. And we did it the equivalent of yesterday. And so we felt good about him, about him in the evaluation that we had for him in the draft. We felt good about what we've seen on tape that he's done since he's been in the NFL.
Really?
And it was one that we just made the decision almost the minute we heard the name, and let's get him.
Wait a minute. I was all in, Jerry. Hook, line, and sinker until you said, we like what we've seen since he's been in the NFL.
Well, he had
where's that tape? I haven't seen it.
He had one good game and then one bad game. So they looked at the good game tape.
I guess I'm still wondering where that tape is. Not only has he been injured and just stunk up the place when he's not, this preseason he was awful. Yeah. He was awful. He was how in the world does and everybody's telling Joe, he's a 1st-round talent. No, he's not.
Well, he is, actually.
No, he's not.
By definition, he was taken in the first round.
He's a 1st-round draft pick. That does not make him 1st-round talent. Ask Carson Wentz. Is he 1st-round talent? How about, I don't know, the Sam, what's his name?
Sam Darnold?
That guy.
What's
How
his
about
name?
him? How about him? How about, I don't know, let's go down the
there
list.
Are lots of 1st-round busts. Would you have been happier
And
if you
Trey
take it in the
Lance
fourth
is
round?
the exact same way. He's a first-round bust.
But we don't know what he could develop into. And
okay.
He's a developmental guy, right?
How is he a developmental guy? If he's first-round talent, how's he a developmental guy?
All he's going to do in Dallas this year is a redshirt year. Well, you practice, you develop, you're a scout team guy.
What has he been doing for the last 2 years?
Emergency quarterback. And when they play San Francisco, he's going to be the most important guy in the building. The other thing that makes me wonder about this trade is, did the Cowboys know they were going to lose Will Grier? Because they weren't going to be able to hide Will Grier on the practice squad, and he wasn't going to make the 53. So it does make me wonder if they thought, all right, we're going to lose Will Grier, so we better have that third quarterback in the building.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, because none of this makes any sense. I have been a big believer that the Cowboys needed a quarterback, a future quarterback. But a guy that you bring in, that you develop, Dak Prescott's a perfect example of that. You brought him in. He was going to be the third string guy. He got pushed. Trey Lance has not shown me anything at all, nothing, that leads me to believe that, number one, he's any threat to take over for Dak Prescott. Anybody that says that's got a screw loose. This is not to replace Dak Prescott.
It is not.
Because, Cowboy fan, if that's what you're waiting for, boy, it's going to be another 30 years before you win a Super Bowl.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Shaq, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I actually like this trade because what it did was, without giving up too much, it moved the Dallas to become relevant in having a potential backup or future quarterback. You essentially got a first-round draft pick, number 3 spot, okay, with giving up with the fourth round. And sometimes all a player really needs is a change of venue, okay? A perfect example is Geno Smith. Look what he's done with the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to give this move a A+ to Jerry Jones, and just hope that it does work out, because we all know Dak has had a history of performing really well at the first half and then poorly at the second half, or getting injured. So we needed someone other than Will Grier, other than someone who, people are still throwing out that this Manziel kid has an opportunity, which he'll never be in the NFL again. So I like this pick. I like this pick a lot.
Jack, you had me until you brought up Manziel.
Yeah, I don't know where Manziel comes into this.
I will say, there has never been a player who has done less for his organization, taken in the top 3, than Trey Lance. And maybe the change of scenery will be good for him.
I was just happy that he brought up another bust that I wasn't thinking about.
And you look
first-round talent bust.
And again, he was taken in the first round.
Doesn't mean he has first-round talent. It doesn't mean that. It means that this 49ers made a mistake.
By definition, though, if you were taken in the first round, it's not like he was projected in the first round. He was literally taken in the first round.
He's not first-round talent. There is a difference.
He can be a bust, but he was the number 3 overall pick when it's all said and done.
He wasn't going to be that. The 49ers just pooped the bed and traded the ranch to move up to number 3. And it was a huge mistake. And obviously they've admitted how big of a mistake it was by letting this guy walk for a 4th-round draft pick. They didn't want to have anything else to do with him, because guess what? They've seen him for 2 years. No, Cowboys haven't, except on that good tape that Jerry's talking about. 49ers have been with him for 2 years. He's not an NFL quarterback. I don't know why everybody thinks that this is just the next greatest thing in the world. You know what it is? Because Cowboy fan, which I guess I'm becoming, but at least I'm objective. It doesn't matter what the Cowboys do. Everything the Cowboys do is right. It's absolutely correct. It's the best move ever, and it's going to result in a Super Bowl. You've been saying it for 30 years.
When I look at what this move actually does, and what I do actually like about this move, because I'm not necessarily a Trey Lance fan at all, but Trey Lance as a developmental guy, as a 3rd-string quarterback, and you see what you have in him, and all you gave up was a 4th-round pick. If he turns into something special, cool, because maybe at that point you could trade him. A legitimate backup, if he becomes the number 2. Is he there to push Dak Prescott? Absolutely not. But we've been screaming for a legit developmental quarterback. Now, I thought we had that in Will Grier, and that's why I say maybe the Cowboys know that Will Grier is going to get plucked off the practice squad, and there's no way they could hide him on the 53 because of all the other position breakdown. So if they feel like they're going to lose Will Grier and they can replace him with the Trey Lance, I like the idea of, all right, you've got the developmental guy there.
If they thought that, Jason, they wouldn't have given Cooper Rush a contract. You'd let him go. So obviously the Cowboys don't think that Will Grier was the guy.
Well, clearly but that doesn't mean another team wasn't going to pick him up.
Well,
and then what were they going to do with a third? I mean, I would much rather have Trey Lance as my third string guy than Ben DiNucci.
I'm not sure.
I am.
Really?
I mean, yes.
I mean, honestly.
Yes.
What has Trey Lance done in the NFL that leads you to believe he's any better than Ben DiNucci?
Ben DiNucci played one of the worst quarterback games in the history of the NFL.
Have you watched Trey Lance play?
I would much rather have Trey Lance than Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci is a great hack guy. Yeah. He's not a great quarterback.
That's awesome. Well, wake me up when Trey Lance has a game that I can come back and say, okay, he's better than Ben DiNucci.
He's the third string quarterback, for crying out loud.
Well, so was Ben DiNucci.
But I'm saying with the you want a good developmental quarterback. They have that. If there's ever been here's a guy that you can develop. I mean, he's got talent, he's got skill, he's got the size. It didn't work in San Francisco. Let's see what the Cowboys can do with him. From that aspect of it, low risk, high reward potential. I keep hearing that.
I keep hearing that. Low risk, high reward.
Yep.
Okay. San Francisco. I can't stress this enough. This was a publicity stunt. It was nothing more than that. That's all it was. San Francisco let this guy walk. If they thought he had any talent, do you honestly think they let him walk? No.
Unless, of course, he has to be out because
so what?
They're one from a salary cap standpoint, and I'm curious how the Cowboys plan to absorb his salary because he is a first rounder. For San Francisco, the economic side of this is a smart move after they brought in a Sam Darnold. You got
not when you give up all the draft capital they gave up just 2 years ago. This is a smart move. No, it's not.
From an economic standpoint, when you're dealing with the salary cap, yes.
Well, then how are the Cowboys going to deal with it?
Well, that's what I mean. But they also have Sam Darnold, first round pick, and his salary on the books.
Another first round bust who beat out this particular first round bust.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's a third rounder that's not going to do a damn thing for the Cowboys this year on their quest to go win a Super Bowl. We'll continue the conversation and look at others who have been cut already. Colt McCoy, unemployed. We'll tell you about it as we continue here on the Blitz.
It's R&R in the morning.
Tuesday on R&R in the morning, it is NFL cut day. And did my guy and my client, Malik Davis, make the cut? Also, we got to get Rob's thoughts on the Trey Lance trade and how he feels. And will Giannis be the next superstar to ask out as he tells Milwaukee, I'm not signing anything until we're all on the same page. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times, like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. New Pepto Kids gummies helps relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for new Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship and is now accessible through Tax Help USA. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. For this free information, call 800-948-9401. 800-948-9401. That's 800-948-9401.
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese dipping taco is, well, it's completely new. It's got a fresh fried white corn shell filled with cheese and new slow braised shredded beef with even more cheese grilled outside the shell. But what makes it really special is the dip. It comes with 2 sauces and you dip in one or both. Red sauce, then nacho cheese sauce, maybe more red sauce. This is a next level taco situation that'll have you acting brand new. The new grilled cheese dipping taco. Get one on the Taco Bell app today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contract work with participation which varies.
When you wake up well rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
I should not use a chatbot to write my wedding vows.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
My life coach has a terrible life.
Find your mattress at the actually really seriously best sale of the year for real at Mattress Firm. Get a Sleepy's mattress and adjustable base for only $499.99, our lowest price ever, plus fast free delivery. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, we have laundry appliances that just fit. They'll fit your space, fit your needs, and with extra large capacity, Samsung laundry pairs can fit more loads in less time. Plus, with free delivery on orders of $396 and up, you won't have to worry about fitting your new laundry pair in the back of your car. Get up to $700 off select appliances like Samsung only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid 8/24 through 9/13. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Score $1,000 cash for back to school and another $1K for your favorite school or charity. Register to win now at sasportstar.com. Good luck from the Institute for Functional Health and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On a Monday afternoon.
It's a good Monday because there's football to talk about.
There is, although it's a bad Monday for a lot of people in the NFL world.
Well, true.
I mean, the reality is in about 24 hours and 20 minutes, rosters are going to be at 53. So everybody's at 90-ish right now, and they've got to get to 53 by tomorrow. Now, a lot of teams have already started announcing cuts. For whatever reason, the Dallas Cowboys do not plan to begin notifying players of their future until tomorrow morning, which is weird. In the past, they typically would have started after the preseason game, a little Monday, in this case, Sunday, Monday, some tomorrow morning. It is kind of odd that the Cowboys, other than Will Greer, aren't letting people know that they're out of work.
Yeah, that's the only guy that he was cut before the game. I will say, I think they did Greer solid.
Yes.
No matter what the circumstances are, the fact of the matter, to let him play that entire game the other night, to get some tape and let other people see him, I thought was classy.
Now, there are a lot of names that have already been announced. A lot of teams, thanks to Twitter, they just straight up release names. The Raiders, and I quickly went and looked for the Raiders, they did release a running back today. His name is not Sincere McCormick.
So that's a good thing.
At least at this point, Sincere still has a job in the NFL. He didn't play a lot the other night against the Cowboys.
No, he didn't.
Which I was a little concerned. Like, is that good or bad? I saw Chuck McAtenick from KBB was in the locker room, did an interview with him, and kid is just hoping. And I wonder though, with Jacobs ending his holdout, would that cost Sincere a job? But they did release a running back, but not Sincere McCormick. So I'm hoping that he will be able to hang on and keep that gig with the Raiders.
I think he's played well in the preseason. He's done a good job. He runs hard, just like he did at UTSA. And so I will be surprised. And look, if nothing else, I think he ends up on their practice squad.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think he hangs around. I think he's done enough to do that. So looking forward to that, and I hope he gets an opportunity.
The Cardinals have released Colt McCoy.
Not really a surprise, right?
Well, I mean, he was penciled in as their starter.
Yeah.
Until preseason rolled around. And as poorly as he played, veteran guy for a team trying not to win games, I don't know that they would have won games with him. I mean, as poorly as he was playing, I thought he was the perfect quarterback for their goal this year of not winning games. But Colt McCoy out with the Arizona Cardinals.
They went and got Joshua Dobbs from Cleveland. They made that deal. So I guess I'm assuming he's going to be their starter moving forward until they figure out what they're going to do with Kyler Murray and how bad they're going to tank this year and go after Caleb Williams. So it remains to be seen. They are definitely, and I've seen people say, well, this was not a tanking decision. Well, of course it is. Everything they're doing is a tanking decision. That's what the Cardinals are doing this year. So we'll see how it plays out.
The Jets release running back Zonovan Knight. And so far, I mean, not a lot of huge names. As I'm looking at various guys that have been released, I haven't seen kind of move yet.
I think you will, though. Remember how they used to do it? You'd go like from 90 to 70 and then 70 to 53. And so it kind of eased the blow a little bit. This is huge. Bam, it's all at once.
Well, and again, I'm looking at, like, I don't know, kickers. Although Brandon Aubrey made a 59-yard field goal the other night.
He missed one too, though.
Well,
from 59.
Dude, I'm trying to be positive here.
And I'm happy
your guy, Brandon Aubrey.
He's going to make the team. I said that the other night when he made the 59-yarder. I said, that's it. It's his job.
Unless somebody else
his job
becomes available that they like. And I'm cool with Brandon Aubrey. I was hoping that they would bring in somebody else from a competition standpoint. Then I was looking at the Chargers. Well, Cameron Dicker won the Chargers job, but then they traded Hopkins to the Cleveland Browns because the kicker that they drafted last year has been dreadful. So as much as I bitch about how the Cowboys have treated kickers, then I look at a team like Cleveland who drafted a guy hoping to address it with a draft pick. Somebody that they thought was, hell, you don't know, man. It's such a crapshoot when it comes to kickers.
Well, and everything, quarterbacks, it's a crapshoot.
It's all a crapshoot.
I think we've seen that, especially first round draft pick quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. You just want to keep going?
Well, I was just
I
was just throwing that in
there. I thought
there.
we were going to have a Trey Lance free segment here, but
well, no, we probably won't have one today, will we? Ian Rappaport says the Texans are releasing veteran linebacker Christian Kirksey. And Pledger is applauding. So I guess that's a good thing.
You just continue to look through. There's some UTSA guys that you're looking for, a couple of UIW Cardinals that you're looking for to see if they're able to stick around and make some teams. So we'll see. Again, roster cuts tomorrow at 3:00 is when everything is official. And when it comes to the Cowboys, it is surprising that they aren't doing it now like everybody else. And I wonder if their philosophy this year, a little bit different in years past, are they holding on to guys to try to work a trade? Somebody that like a Will Grier, even though everybody knows he's going to get released. But if you're a team that's interested in Will Grier and you're nowhere near the top of the waiver wire, you make the trade for a late round pick as opposed to seeing if he goes unclaimed and you have a chance to get him. So if you really want him. And there might be a couple other guys that they have. There are some position rooms where tough decisions are going to be made and guys are just going to get scooped up. So I wonder if the Cowboys are playing a little bit of a game here by holding on to people, also seeing who else has been released. Can I replace this guy with that guy? Or if we can't, I'm going to keep you. Or try to work some trades today with guys that they know are going to get scooped up immediately, because there are some position groups where there is going to be some guys that should be on a team that the Cowboys just don't have room for.
Well, I would hope that Jerry and company would make a deal that actually makes sense.
Well, why would you do that?
Like they lose Josh Ball, and no matter what you think of Josh Ball, he's not very good, but at least he was a body. He's out for a couple of months. That's what they're estimating.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line got that much thinner on Saturday night. And so it would be nice if the Cowboys actually made a move and maybe added some depth to that offensive line. That would be refreshing. And it's happening. I've seen it. The Texans added an offensive lineman over the weekend. There were a couple of other teams that did the same thing. So they're out there. It's just a matter of, I guess, unless they were drafted in the top 5, you don't want them.
Well, such an ass sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's who you're talking to, what you're looking at, who you're trying to get. I mean, I look at like Christian Covington, released from Detroit. Now he's a defensive lineman. He's been with the Texans. He's been with the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't necessarily need somebody like that. A lot of offensive linemen have already been released when you go through the list. But honestly, there's a whole bunch of names on here that you go, I don't know who that is. And again, are you looking for quality or warm bodies? And quite honestly, in replacing Josh Ball, a warm body might be enough.
I think so. I really think so. I mean, again, he was a body. if nothing else, he was a body. He didn't play that well last year, but they said he was, from all signs, was improving this year. But just the fact of the matter, look, Cowboys may have one of the best offensive lines still, the first 5.
Yeah.
After that, it is a crapshoot, and that's the problem. And that's when when I see a trade that was made on Friday night, I pull my hair out, because it's like, that is not going to do you any good this year. None. If you want to win a Super Bowl this year, that didn't do you any good.
But it doesn't. It didn't do you any good to help this year's team.
No,
with the Trey Lance deal. But it also didn't do anything to hurt this year's team. It's a futures move.
Well, the fact that you didn't add somebody else when you could have.
Well,
I mean, why? If you got $5 million laying around,
again, I don't know if it was this move. I don't know if they did this move instead of another one that might have immediate impact. If they're working on something for somebody to have immediate impact, that deal can still get done.
It can, and I hope it does.
So I don't know that move doesn't help this year's team. It doesn't hurt this year's team. It's a straight up futures move. But I'm with you. I mean, it's cut down day. I want to see you working on this year's team to try to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the bottom line.
And again, and we've said it. I've said it. You've said it. The window is so wide open for the Cowboys.
Mhm.
And I guess that's why it's so frustrating to see something like this, to not only bring in a guy like Trey Lance that's not going to help you at all this year. It pissed your quarterback off that is going to start this year. I think you can see that clearly. You can hear it in his voice. He was not happy about, number one, not being told about it. Number two, bringing in a guy that could be his replacement.
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you.
Well, he wasn't surprised, and that's the thing to say. When you look at him say that, and you see the look in his face, he's not happy about it.
The one thing with Dak Prescott is he understands the business side of the NFL, and anytime you've been in the league as long as you have, it's almost like military kids. Growing up military, it's the first day of school for a lot of kids today. So if you're in the school line, congratulations, parents picking them up. But as a military kid, your best friend, his dad might get shipped out to somewhere else tomorrow. Every year you have such turnover with all your classmates. NFL rosters are that way. Dak Prescott is extremely loyal to those in his locker room. He shows up to the game the other night wearing a Zeke Elliott Ohio State jersey. He and Will Greer became good friends. You look at, he made Ben DiNucci's hat company become massive by wearing his hat. So Dak is such a loyal teammate to those that get close to him. And I'm sure he's gotten close to Will Greer. He talked about it. So when you're on your way out, you're a little bitter about it. But he did a sleep number event with Trey Lance not long ago. And it won't be long before he's buddies with Trey Lance because they're friends. And if you're Dak Prescott, you don't look at Trey Lance as you're trying to steal my job. Because all those guys are trying to steal his job, but Trey Lance is not a threat to Dak Prescott.
Well, and I've seen it mentioned that maybe this is a move on Jerry's part to get a little leverage when it comes to a contract. And I just don't see it. I mean, as much as I'm critical of Dak Prescott is a hell of a lot better quarterback than the guy they just traded for.
Well, that's it.
And so there's no way that they brought him in to be Dak's replacement.
No.
Because quite frankly, I don't know if Trey Lance can be anybody's replacement at this point in time.
The Cowboys are kicking the tires for a future backup and maybe a starter. The only leverage, and I don't buy this for 1 second, leverage in the negotiations with Dak. If they can't get a deal done with Dak this year, and there's that $60 million cap hit, do they have a potential guy in Trey Lance? And instead of making a trade with the idea that he could be the guy, they're going to have a whole year to see if you can kick the tires. But it's no leverage. I mean, Dak's agent isn't blinking at, well, you got Trey Lance in the building. I better lower my demands. No, that's stupid if you think that.
Well, it's completely stupid. Look, I say it again. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. It was nothing more than a publicity stunt on Jerry Jones's part. Pure and simple. And it's working to perfection because Jerry Jones is a freaking genius when it comes to stuff like that.
Yes, he is.
That's all anybody's talking about is this trade. Jerry wins again.
Go read Ryan Engel's article at sasportstar.com.
Please do.
It's a fantastic stream of consciousness read. I was reading it. Now I know you better than most that are listening to this show.
Right.
I just want you to read this article at sasportstar.com. And you got to do it like I was doing it, because I was reading it, then I kind of went back and reread it, and I could hear as I'm reading the words, the pounding on the damn keyboard, and the dust, and then the back, and back. I could hear that. Go read it, sasportstar.com. As we continue,
very tough computer
here,
over here
on the Blitz, the Texans, they have named a starting quarterback, and
who is it?
It's a shocker. I'll tell you that. And there's one quarterback having trouble connecting with his teammates. He doesn't like all the kids in the room. We'll explain during the headline Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. It's back to school time. You've got a club, an organization, you need shirts done, Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps, Sam has over 12,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in this showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big, and all items do come with the warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, a hole-in-one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with the IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Get up to an additional $1,500 off select major kitchen appliances. And save $100 off select laundry pairs, priced $1,396 or more. Plus, pick up the latest DeWalt PowerStack 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery kit and get a select Bear tool free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/30. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. While supplies last.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the H-E-B located at 850 FM 1103 in Cibolo from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on Sunday, September 24th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by H-E-B.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Your home for the Cowboys.
Prescott all the way, runs it in for the touchdown.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, reaction continues to pour in from the Cowboys trade with the 49ers over the weekend for quarterback Trey Lance. Team owner Jerry Jones says the third overall pick in 2021 not expected to help the team much at all this season. C.J. Stroud is the starter. Shocker for the Houston Texans. They'll open up on the road in Baltimore. Tomorrow afternoon, all NFL teams have to trim their rosters to 53. Colt McCoy, a casualty today for the Cardinals.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Wednesday, the Blitz is going to be live out at Texas Cheer Liquor number 3 over there off of Highway 90.
That's cool.
You know we're going to have lots of samples when we're at Texas Cheer
on
a Wednesday.
Always.
It's going to be a good time. And I would imagine a lot of talk about, I don't know, a damn third-string quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Phone lines are full. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gary, it says on the screen you call this a power move by Jerry Jones.
Oh, my God. I don't know. I don't think Jerry has any idea what he was doing. I just think he had one of those moments where, he was just sitting at home and he said, I don't care if I am old. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I ain't got to tell Dak nothing. I'm going to get Trey Lance. But they're like, but Dad, is he going to help us? I don't care. I just want Trey Lance. I don't think the guy's going to help at all. And if you think back to last year with the San Francisco 49ers going into that game and losing all of their quarterbacks and us being stuck with having to bring Trey Lance off the bench, not having a clue of what we're doing.
Gary, well, I'll disagree with you. Man, your turn signal has been on a long time if you're one of those kind of guys.
I thought that was a great phone call. Great phone call.
You know where Trey Lance is going to really help the Dallas Cowboys this year? When they're playing the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, who better for intel than in running your scout team than a guy that's been that guy for a couple of years? That's the biggest positive. And I realize that's small. I mean, that's small, but
worth a 4th round pick. I mean, at the least.
To get an edge on your kryptonite, yes, it's a 4th round pick.
You know what I find hilarious about this whole Trey Lance thing is the fact that we saw the story where they were competing with Buffalo and this team and that team, and all those teams offered up was a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
So Jerry slid in with a 4th.
Good.
Jeez.
Yeah.
See that
ask the man. He'll tell you all the time. One of Jerry's favorite lines. This tells you I've talked to the man way too many times. Everything that I've got that's worth anything I've overpaid for.
Well,
how many times you heard Jerry say that?
And he just did again.
He's overpaid for a lot of things that aren't worth crap either.
Well, and he just did again. So the streak continues.
What it boils down to.
Oh my gosh. It baffles me, and I mean this sincerely. This is not a knock against the Cowboys.
Really?
I think it's every NFL team. You get all excited about these college quarterbacks, and it remains to be seen. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, how good they're going to be, how they turn out to be. It remains to be seen, and I hope they do well. Typically, or at least lately, first-round quarterbacks have sucked. They just have.
I mean, look, for every Patrick Mahomes, you have a Mitchell Trubisky.
That's true. Or Carson Wentz.
I mean, that's
Sam Darnold. Or, I don't know, let's keep going. What's the dude with the Jets? Wilson.
Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
I mean, here's the thing. Most of the time, if you're a high draft pick, you're going to a team that sucks. That was not the case for Trey Lance.
No.
That's what's even crazier. But injuries did have an impact on his development there. And I wonder if, I mean, we just don't know. Because, I mean, look, they've tried to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo a couple of different times. Then they kept bringing him back. That guy took him to a Super Bowl. But there was something about him they didn't like. They didn't want in on the Tom Brady sweepstakes a couple of years ago. He ended up in Tampa Bay and got another Super Bowl. It's a crapshoot when it comes to quarterback.
Moving up with all the draft capital they gave away was just, I mean, we said it then. Nobody's worth that.
No, but if it would be, it's amazing the difference between every other NFL team and the Dallas Cowboys. If the Cowboys had made that exact same move, imagine the negative press. Kyle Shanahan, Lynch, they're like, yeah, man, we screwed up, man. We're moving on. All right, cool. Here's a contract extension.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
It is time for the Headline Blitz. You just brought up his name. The Houston Texans make a major announcement today. I mean, big shockwaves throughout the NFL about who their starting quarterback is going to be.
Yes, CJ will be our week 1 starter.
What? Thanks, D'Amico. You could have told me that 3 months ago.
Well, he could have done that, but I guess he really didn't have to. I mean, John McClain, the general who joins us every Thursday at 5:15, he's been saying it for weeks now, and most everybody knew it. I mean, the guy started every preseason game.
Well, and again, you take him high in the first round. It's not like he's been bad in practice. He hasn't been bad in the preseason games. And quite frankly, watching their game last night, because the Texans were the only game on, so you're forced to watch the Saints and the Texans on a Sunday night. Thanks, NFL, for the middle finger there at the end of your weekend. If I'm Houston, I might be trying to figure out how to get Will Grier in there instead of Davis Mills, based on what I saw in their final preseason games.
You know, I don't know what Davis Mills look, I've been a defender of Davis Mills. I think he's played fairly well on a really crappy team last year.
So you'll give Davis Mills the benefit of the doubt, but not Trey Lance. I digress.
Well, I mean, at least he showed some flashes again with a really crappy team. You already mentioned, by your own words, Trey Lance had a pretty good football team. That he was the quarterback of.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had one good game, one bad game as a starter.
And then he was hurt. And then this preseason was awful.
Yep.
But I digress.
Yeah, there you go. The Arizona Cardinals are not going to name a week 1 starter.
Well, who cares at this point in time, right?
Well, I it's so interesting when you think about the dynamics of football, right? High school, a lot of times coaches don't want to name starters ahead of time. Colleges, Nick Saban, depth charts are just for media, right? NFL, name a starter, let's go. Vegas needs to set line.
Exactly.
Right? We're going to talk to a college coach in about 2 hours at 5:15. This might be the one time we ask, hey, coach, who's your quarterback?
Yeah.
And get a straight answer.
Oh, I think you're right. Well, you're stretching your neck there, Minix, that's for sure. He's got Joshua Dobbs, who most likely, if I had to guess, will be their starter just because of experience.
Does he know the playbook at all?
But I don't know. But your other choice is Clayton Tune, who would have been a nice draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Having said that, he's now with the Arizona Cardinals. And, if you're going to tank like you say you are, why not start the Rook?
It's a great question. You don't want to break them. I don't know. It's interesting. Now, a guy that won a Super Bowl not long ago and then got hurt. Oh, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you talk about a guy that's been on a roller coaster. And I don't know what to make of this year's Rams team. I don't know how good they're going to be. I mean, they went all in
Hard
on
to
winning the
say.
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and they've still got a lot of talent over there. But Matt Stafford is having a bigger issue this year, apparently connecting with all the kids in the locker room.
He's like, the difference in the locker room has changed so significantly. And they have a lot of rookies on their team this year. They're very young. So this will be a very interesting season. You know, they're young, they're learning, but he's like, I feel like I can't connect because in the old days, you would come out of practice, you'd shower. This is during training camp, shower, people would be playing cards, people would be interacting. Who knows what they're doing, you know, but they're doing something together. They're playing ping pong. They have a tournament going on, doing something, you know, like they're at least talking. He said now they get done with practice or get done with meetings during training camp and they go straight to their phones. Like no one looks up from their phone. So Matthew was like, I don't even know how to, am I the dad? Do I take the phones?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do here? I mean, and he's like, I want them to see me as like, not as like I don't know. He's like, as the
old man,
coach, you know, he feels like they say like sir to him. And he's like, no, we're on the same level here. We're both playing in this league. Like, let me get to know you. But he said it's so different and so hard to get to know these guys.
That's Matt Stafford's wife, Kelly Stafford, on her podcast, The Morning After with Kelly Stafford.
Yeah, you say that well. You ought to be the announcer.
The Morning After.
Yes.
With Kelly Stafford.
But I can sympathize with old Matthew. I mean, that's just the way younger folks are these days, right? They go to the phone and that's where they stay. So, yeah, look, I don't know how many years Stafford has left. Maybe this could be it for him. It's like Colt McCoy, who was released today by the Cardinals. I don't look for him to go anywhere. Do you think anybody's going to be ringing his phone?
Maybe. I mean, you some guys just need the reliable veteran guy.
Yeah, I guess.
Colt's,
as a teacher, like a Case Keenum with the Texans.
I mean, you look at Stafford going into his 15th season. He's 35 years old.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, but it's not just kids. All of us are all on our phones right now. Walk into any restaurant, any bar, you see everybody sitting around the table.
That's a good point.
And granted, half the time you got to scan the menu now and look at it on your phone, but it does feel like you're always on your phone. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it.
I am.
It's just a way of life, but I don't know, Matt, maybe you connect, create a TikTok account and make a video and send it to your teammates.
Yeah, just do something kind of stupid, Matt, and do it.
I mean, look at if you watch quarterback, Kirk Cousins, the whole shirtless thing with the chains, found a way to connect with his teammates.
He did.
If you're going to be the leader of that football team, Matthew Stafford, you've got to figure out a way to connect with those teammates.
Yeah, find a way. Somehow, some way. And get with one of those guys that you trust, you know, I mean, and say, hey, what can I do? And figure that out. It's funny that you say I got in trouble Friday night. Went out to dinner after I left the stadium.
And
I'm just all upset because of the Trey Lance thing.
And you got in trouble from Mrs. Reinagel?
Well, yeah, because I'm on the phone looking at reaction and stuff.
So she must have hit her daily level on Candy Crush. So she was off her phone, and so you were the one in trouble?
Well, we're at a restaurant. She didn't play Candy Crush.
At the restaurant?
No. And she doesn't play Candy Crush at all.
Well, what game does she play?
She doesn't. She gets caught up in these reels.
Oh.
You know, the reels, and she'll save recipes and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's still a Colt.
He sure is.
Deadline is tomorrow. Apparently, a couple of teams are interested.
I think Miami, and Schefter said today, tweeted out today, that his sources or whatever it is are telling him that he's most likely to be traded than to remain in Indianapolis. So it must be close, whatever Miami's working on with perhaps somebody else.
I find it interesting because when you look at some of the sites that put odds on things, the Cowboys were nowhere on the page that included Trey Lance from Friday. But they're still middle of the road for a Jonathan Taylor, which I find very, very interesting.
Well, who knows? That'd be another big splash.
I mean, and again, that would actually help the team this year.
Yeah, it would.
The bigger question is, who makes the Cowboys 53? Does Malik Davis get cut? Boy, if he does, Rudy J tomorrow is going to explode because for whatever reason, he has hitched his wagon to a guy that's about to get cut. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, you know what, Jason? I can't wait to read that to him. Look, read it right here, Rudy. Malik Davis, cut. I can do that now.
Well,
now
he's
that
not cut yet. Don't put that out there.
Oh.
Like his breaking news.
No, it's not breaking
Not
news.
yet.
I'm just
it
saying.
It will be. You're seeing into the future.
I said if that happens, I can read that to him. If Malik Davis gets cut. That's what I said. Hey, it's all thanks to my good friends over at Parkhurst New Vision. I had lens replacement surgery. Boy, it's been about 6-7 weeks ago now, and I see things completely different. It is just incredible. Reading menus at a restaurant, my computer for work, whatever the case may be. I don't need readers anymore, don't need glasses. And in fact, I've gotten rid of all of them, and it was just like a celebration to do that. The whole procedure was really kind of nice. I'll be honest with you. From the moment I walked in there the first time, they were just nice. I was like their only patient. They treated me with respect. And then every time I get a phone call from them now, it's like I'm their best friend. It's just fantastic. Makes you feel good. Look, if you're tired of dragging your readers around or just want to get rid of those glasses, give Parkhurst New Vision a call at 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. They do LASIK, they do cataract surgery, and of course the lens replacement surgery that I had. Look, check them out. You've got nothing to lose. Let them check you out to make sure you're a candidate. Give them a call. You won't regret it. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
This is Texas A&M football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 5, it's the Aggies and New Mexico. Presented by Ewald Kubota, ABC Home and Commercial Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
21 days of beauty. 21 days with daily beauty steals of up to 50% off. 21 days of Slay. 21 days of Yay. 21 days of Are You Kidding Me right now? Beauty's biggest event is on now till September 16th at Ulta Beauty. Discover irresistible deals on must-have brands like IT Cosmetics and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, new launches from Pat McGrath Labs. Shop in store, online, or pick up today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just going to eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
For over 17 years, the award-winning legal team at George Salinas Injury Lawyers has been representing personal injury victims all across Texas. Have you been injured in an accident? George Salinas is ready to represent you with free consultations, 24/7 availability, and no attorney fees unless we win. George Salinas Injury Lawyers will help you get the results you need so you can focus on recovery. If you've been injured, one call could change your entire case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers, 210-225-0909, or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Tuesday on R&R in the Morning, Rob returns, and I want to get his thoughts on the Trey Lance trade and the fallout. Also, tomorrow is NFL Cut Day. Did my guy, my client, Malik Davis make the cut? And is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to be the latest superstar to ask out? Now back to the Blitz. Joe, did you bring in some of those cold fries for lunch?
I got to tell you, man. I got a text Saturday morning from John Robbins.
Yeah.
Who does stats with me for high school football games. Text was something along the lines of, "Kinda wish I had some French fries for my breakfast tacos."
See that? Sold John. I always knew John was a smart dude.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's good for a breakfast time. You got some leftover fries. I always like scrambled eggs, little, kielbasa jalapeno sausage. Put some potatoes on there. Bam.
And the potatoes being old fries.
Old
See,
fries.
I've never thought about saving my fries. I mean, when I had dogs, the dogs would eat them. And when I don't have dogs, just throw them away. They're French fries.
Well, I'm just saying, you gotta think of these things. You just do. French fries. Now, look, I prefer them hot. And they will be hot when I put them on my taco, but
I'm with you.
Yeah, see?
I'm with you. Ryan Eagle's got some quirky things.
All of which are very delicious once you give them a try.
You want good hot fries? On Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Got the first college, well, not the first. We got some college football on Thursday night. Says here on the sheet, Florida versus Utah, but I know Arizona State, who won't be going to a bowl because they're run by a bunch of freaking idiots. They're in action, too, on Thursday night.
Well, I'd prefer watching that Utah game. That ought to be a decent football game, actually.
Florida and Utah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That might be a good one.
Yeah.
Now, see, the fries at the Rue Pub, I might get a doggy bag. I can take those home for the next day.
For your Friday morning tacos?
Exactly right.
Good Lord. By this time tomorrow, we'll know who's been cut, who hasn't been cut. You look at the projected 53 for the Dallas Cowboys, and look, you can go to a lot of different sites and see what this writer is thinking or that writer is thinking and whatnot. Cowboys are going to have 3 quarterbacks. We know that. The interesting part is, look, how many running backs do they keep? Do they keep 3 or do they keep 4? What I find interesting is I can't find one projected 53 that includes a Malik Davis. If there are 4 running backs on a projected 53, that Hunter Lupke guy has replaced Malik Davis.
Well, I've seen a lot of projections that say they're only going to keep 3 on the roster and then try to put Davis and Lupke on the practice squad.
Which is, possible.
So we'll see.
The Jordan Lewis injury situation is interesting. He's probably going to start on the PUP list. As he's coming back from his injury. And there's a couple others that, they're going to be on the team, but how are they going to do it? Wide receivers is also another interesting room. It looks like Simi Fehoko is done with Dallas.
Yeah.
The Jalens are going to take his spot, Tolbert and Brooks.
You think Brooks, though, makes the roster?
I do.
I think he might be a practice squad guy, but I don't know.
I wonder when it comes down to the business side of football, is how many years has Simi Fehoko been there?
I don't know. It's been multiple.
Has it been 3?
It's been at least that, hasn't it?
Because you get vested at 3 years, 4 games. So if Jalen Brooks and Simi Fehoko are the same guy, and Simi Fehoko is about to be a vested NFL guy, which means a check for the rest of his life, then he gets cut.
Interesting.
And you see a lot of guys like that 3 years in, and the team that has you on the roster, when you get vested, they're kind of responsible. So those guys seem to get cut at that 3-year mark. So Jalen Brooks, because of business, over Simi Fehoko.
It's interesting, and you could be right about that. I just don't know that Brooks makes the roster. I think Kevontae Turpin has done enough to be that fifth guy in that wide receiver room. And I'm talking about obviously the first three, is Gallup and Cooks and CeeDee Lamb. But then you come back with Tolbert at number 4, and then I think
Turpin and
Turpin
Brooks
is the guy.
Brooks has done a lot on special teams.
Interesting.
And that could make a difference. And I think another guy that might surprise people is Jabril Cox. This guy's had opportunity, and I think he's just run out of time. There's so much depth on the defensive side.
I think we're going to see some names that you might raise an eyebrow at. I really do on some of these and that's a great problem for the Cowboys to have. They've got some depth, especially on defense. There's going to be some tough decisions to be made there, and it's going to be interesting to see what they are. Look, I'm still looking for them to go out because as it stands right now, I think with the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, have 9 offensive linemen. They've got Josh Ball, but obviously he's going to be on the IR to start the season. They got to go out and get somebody, don't they? You got to have 10 guys, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd like to have 10 guys. And again, they're scouring all the guys that have been released today, seeing which one of those guys could they either claim, add to the practice squad. It is crazy that it is hard to find 10 rather large human beings that can block well.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the one guy that they have, that really tall dude. He's the tallest guy on the field, and he gets bull rushed. He is a monster, but he doesn't. I'm going to sound like Mike McCarthy. His knee bend isn't quite there. He doesn't get low enough. And how does a guy like that just get bull rushed all the damn time?
I don't know. It's all about technique, Jason.
Well, yeah.
You got to have that technique.
Well, I'm just thinking about, like all through, he's probably just so big he can stick his arm out and stop most people.
You would think so.
That doesn't work in the NFL.
Well, you and me, he could.
Well,
but those guys, he can't.
I'm not an edge rusher.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm not an edge rusher.
You could be, though.
An edge rusher?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Apparently, you could be a running back.
I could be a running back.
Yeah.
I'd be more of a gadget guy.
You'd be a gadget guy.
if you want a slow-footed, small, easy-to-tackle gadget guy, I'm it. I'm your guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if out in space would be your best opportunity. I think you'd be better running through the tackles.
I don't know that I am fast enough to get out in space. So I would have to go short yardage.
Well,
and I would love to give me one time the concussion, the paycheck for being on IR. Get me that damn clipboard in the ring.
You'd take that one for the team, huh?
I would.
Why not? You're a hell of a guy.
Get out in space. I mean, I'd have to start in space.
Yeah.
To get out into space.
And I don't think you have the moves of a Deuce Vaughn.
No, I'm a statue.
No. Yeah, yes, you are.
I mean, me and Brad Johnson, we've got the same kind of moves. Remember him, the old Cowboy quarterback?
Oh yeah,
yeah. We just stand there. I'm too old at this point.
Yeah, well, even when you weren't too old, even when you were Deuce Vaughn's age, I don't think
I was pretty good back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was pretty good back then.
I'm guessing not.
Well, you'd be wrong.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
between the tackles or out in space?
Well, I was more of a wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
I was a kind of the slot wide receiver in the How Mummy offense back at Copper's Cove High School. So
I bet it was tough to find you as a quarterback, wasn't it?
Our quarterback ended up playing for the Houston Oilers. Are you kidding?
Well, I'm just saying.
But he also got me damn near killed one time at a game in Round Rock.
Uh-huh.
Both knees, same play, gone.
What was it, a bad throw? Or?
Yeah, it was a little high. I had to climb the ladder to go get it.
You sure you didn't run the wrong route?
I didn't run the wrong route.
Yeah, I bet he blamed it on you.
But I was kind of that gadget guy too, like end arounds.
Uh-huh.
I was that guy. And then you would always, depending on the play, the tackle opened up and there was the seam inside. I'd cut inside and get killed by a linebacker or try to get outside. Or you can, back in the day.
Minix, you're a good friend of mine. I've known you for a long time, but I've never seen you as an athlete. I'm just sorry. I have a hard time picturing that.
I mean, it's kind of like hearing, you were a wide receiver for the Alice football team on a team that maybe threw the ball 2 times a game.
Yeah, maybe
talking
2 times.
about my athletic abilities.
Yeah,
maybe in golf, I'll give you that. I've seen that.
You're giving me a lot of credit 2 times.
Back in the early 90s, when we used to play flag football, you would show up in your Cody Carlson
That's
jersey.
right.
right? We used to have some pretty good games back then.
I guess
It
that was a long
bunch
time
of
ago.
Non-athletic guys out there playing football.
That was a long time ago, man. Jeez. That was almost 30 years ago, wasn't it?
Dude, it was. And that doesn't make me feel old. You know what makes me feel old today?
What's that?
My daughter is 25 years old today.
Happy birthday, Erica.
Happy birthday, kiddo. 25.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to have a kid
Oh,
that's
yes,
25.
you are. You sure are.
I really am
Yeah,
not.
yeah, you really are.
I'm really not. She had a good birthday. She went and
good.
jumped out of an airplane earlier today.
Now, does she do that every year?
Yeah, that's kind of her thing.
Every year?
Yeah, it's kind of become a thing.
Wow.
I'm not a fan. I just call me afterwards, send me a proof of life picture.
That's it. Just make sure you got on the ground. If I don't hear from you, I'll assume you didn't.
I really would rather not know what time you're going because now I'm watching the clock, and this morning was 7:30 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Was when she had to be there. Well, it's Phoenix, right?
Uh-huh.
You have to do it really early in the day because it's too hot to jump later because, like parachutes.
Gotcha.
I don't know. You don't want
Do
them
they
to
melt?
I guess.
Holy cow. The parachutes
I don't know.
melt.
They won't go up when it's too hot.
Jeez. Well,
I'm like, all right, so 7:30, but she didn't call me till almost noon, which is 10 o'clock there. So, for a little bit, I'm like, all right, no big deal. But then they make you watch a video, and she's jumped enough now. Apparently, she's allowed to pull her own string.
But she still has a dude on her back.
She's
okay.
The tandem
Yeah.
jump, right?
Yeah.
So she sends the picture, and it's got the altitude reader on her arm.
Uh-huh.
And so, you're at 12,000 feet when you jump, and you've got to pull your chute by 5,000, but really they want that 6,000 to 7,000. I'm like, what is that? 1 to 2 more seconds? I mean, how fast are you falling? I mean, I'd pull that thing at 10, so I've got more time floating down I can enjoy the view.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess I'm going to take your word for it because I don't want to jump out of an airplane.
I've got no desire
unless I
to
have
jump
to.
out of a perfectly good airplane. Well, and if you're in a situation where you have to jump out, you ain't going to get a parachute on in time.
No.
Right?
I don't think so.
No.
Wow. It was like that Cocaine Bear movie I saw. Dude's throwing the cocaine out the window, and he's trying to jump out as he's killed the pilot, so he's trying to get out of there. And as he's jumping out, he bangs his head on the thing, knocks him out, so he falls to his death. Never pulled the parachute.
Huh.
So that's how all the cocaine got in the forest. Just wanted you to know.
Man.
That's how the bear got, and so hence Cocaine Bear.
2 plus 2, huh?
How about that?
Yeah. Well, the bear would have got the coke whether the guy pulled the chute or not.
Well, if he pulls the chute, he probably collects that.
If he's throwing stuff out of the airplane while the plane is moving, and then he decides to jump, he's not going to land anywhere near where that cocaine did.
Well,
he's never going to find it again.
But I don't know. I think he had guys on the ground.
He's not going to find it again.
I just thought it was kind of funny because he killed the pilot, and then he ends up banging his head and knocks himself out, and he never was able to pull the string.
Really?
Yeah.
What a great lead into talking about Trey Lance. There's so many parallels.
So many.
With the Cocaine Bear and the Trey Lance deal. Make any of it make sense. We'll try as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, I want to tell you about some really good people. The Woods family. They own Woods Comfort Systems. I've known the Woods family most all my life. In fact, I grew up with them in my hometown of Alice, Texas, and they've always been in the air conditioning heating business. So they've done it for over 60 years. They know what they're doing, and they're going to treat you right. And in fact, they got a great deal for you right now. You can take advantage of some really nice things if you get a new energy efficient AC system for your home. How about up to $2,500 in rebates, a free 12-year parts and labor warranty? You get a free MERV 11 media filter and a Solaris indoor air quality package to boot. Why wouldn't you take advantage of those special offers? You ought to do it today. Give them a call, 877-324-6902. 877-324-6902. Or you can get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. Trust me, the Woods family, they're going to take care of you. They've been taking care of families in South and Central Texas for a long, long time. Woods Comfort Systems. Comfort is their middle name.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, all in one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
You know, Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live out at one of my favorite spots, the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road, with a big night of college football on tap. And then you get ready for your draft parties. If you're having a fantasy draft party, go to the Roo Pub. They've got a wing and a beer bucket special for your draft parties. And, of course, they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you show up at the Roo, show up hungry. The food is fantastic, with about 15 different burgers on the menu, the best and biggest wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. They've got great French fries, the Philly cheesesteak fries. I love their onion rings. Pledge says they've got a great salad. And that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. Getting ready for company with the Samsung Family Hub Plus refrigerator.
And football.
That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. Search for recipes, check out scores, or even stream the game to the screen at the same time, so you never miss a second of the action, which means you can make your famous buffalo chicken dip and have
more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Samsung and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com. It's the Awesome Tickets Pro Football Pick'em Challenge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your shot at $50,000 nationally, while weekly winners locally get a $50 gift card to 5 Oaks Ace Hardware on Thousand Oaks. At the end of the season, locally, the best overall record wins the San Antonio Grand Prize of $1,000 worth of tickets to any event from Awesome Tickets. Sign up today at sasportstar.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
That's right. You hear that promo there. I know it's, you got more than a week before that first regular season game, but for our Pick'em contest, make sure you get signed up now, sasportstar.com.
Now do we have a station group, or did we just compete with everybody else?
Well, we're not eligible to win, but I think we just kind of get in there
with everybody else.
Make our picks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
You just won't be eligible to win.
I got a question for you real quick.
All right. I've got answers.
Jonathan Taylor. Don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
Did anybody draft? I want to know if you had a draft over the weekend. Did anybody draft Jonathan Taylor?
I hope so.
Well, yeah. I mean, you would think, right?
I have yet to have a fantasy draft, right?
No.
Because I'm with smart people that don't do that yet.
We do it at the end.
But probably, and if you guys have done this, let us know, 210-656-ESPN. Probably 5th or 6th round if he's still sitting there, if not sooner.
I would think. I mean, he's going to end up somewhere, right?
And in a better situation than where he's at right now.
You would think so. If he ends up with Miami, he'd be a good player to have.
I would draft a Jonathan Taylor if I had that opportunity.
But I just wonder if do you take a shot at a guy that doesn't have a team? And I'm assuming that I should have asked my son-in-law had his fantasy draft this weekend.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask him that. I should have.
Maybe
Let us know. I'll text him.
Text us. Who got Jonathan Taylor in your draft?
Yeah, I want to know.
Because really, I mean, we've got a draft coming up next week. Joe's trying to do homework.
I am. I just don't want to know.
Joe doesn't want to be the boob that takes him in the 3rd round, knowing that they could have waited till the 7th.
The 3rd round, I might take him first. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. God, I hope you do.
What's interesting is, how we determine our draft order is because all the final scores of all the games this weekend.
Did you read any of our commissioner is Phil Anaya from Channel 5.
Uh-huh.
He's annoying as hell
with
all his damn emails.
I was 2nd.
Oh, yeah?
On the deal. So I thought, at first I thought, okay, well, I get the 2nd pick in the draft. No, you get to pick where you want to be. Like Paul Morales, the weather guy at Channel 5, was number 1. So he picked 4 is where he's going to draft.
He wants to start the draft at 4.
4.
Okay.
And then I was 2nd, so I got to pick. I took 5.
Okay.
I like 5 in a snake draft.
Well, that's it, because you're constantly picking in the middle. I don't like picking first.
Well, you may have to, because I think you were dead last.
I don't even know how is that even possible?
Well, you were dead last, I think. I mean, seriously,
I wasn't even
it was
sure.
not good.
I wasn't even sure how we were determining draft order, to be honest with you.
All you had to do is read the directions.
Well,
it's pretty simple.
He sends too many emails. I don't care.
It was pretty simple. Let's see here. I got to find
Nobody cares.
I care. Because you're going to be picking number 1. Who are you taking?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, look at Pledge. But Taylor went the 3rd round, 1st pick in his Golf Club of Texas League.
Who
did Bo take? Who had the 1st pick?
Is there a unanimous number 1 overall pick this year?
Well, there would be for me.
Who?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, you're not going to get him because you're picking 5th.
I'm hoping he drops to 5.
Well, then it wouldn't be a unanimous number 1 overall pick, then would it be?
Because he's 1st round talent.
Uh-huh.
Even though he wasn't drafted in the 1st round.
Please take Trey Lance.
I'm sure. Are you kidding me?
So the Golf Club of Texas, you guys had your draft last night? The old Bo LaHue, who runs the Golf Club of Texas.
Uh-huh.
If you walk into his office, he's got a fantasy trophy. His name is the only one on there for years and years and years. I mean, he's kind of like Al Bundy at Polk High telling the stories of, from Married with Children.
Yeah.
I think Bo is the only one in the league in which he wins every year. And he brags so much, but he invited Pledge to be in the league, but didn't invite you, didn't invite me, didn't invite Rudy J because he wants to win.
He was afraid.
Yeah.
By the way, you were dead last, so you'll have the 1st pick in the draft. So start studying.
Somebody else will take the 1st pick.
I don't know.
Somebody else will.
We'll see.
Oh, Pledge is already going to lose, man. He's got Kellen Moore's kid as his quarterback.
That's not. That's. I mean, that looks good on paper, I guess.
All right, Pledge. So what do you have? Justin Herbert, Saquon Barkley,
Aaron Jones. He's got George Pickens.
I like that.
Mike Williams. I like that too.
Kyle
Herbert's got to
Pitts.
throw to somebody. Najee Harris, huh?
It's not a bad pick for your flex.
All right. Well, interesting.
Who's your defense, Pledge? You don't have a defense?
Y'all don't pick defense?
It's IDP.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Individual defensive player.
Oh. IDP. Ooh. I guess I'm supposed to know that.
IDP.
Well, if you're such a fancy expert.
Yeah, we don't have individual. We don't have IDPs. We just have a full defense. At least I think that's still the way it is.
I'm glad you said IDP.
Why? IDP.
This sounds like some sort of birth control method.
I
got an IDP. I got rid of the IUD and I got an IDP instead. It works better.
Yeah, well.
Although it is a defense mechanism.
It is. It's that defensive player.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You need a good goaltender back there. You need one that pitches a shutout.
Yes, you do.
Oh, my goodness.
No misses.
Are you calm down a little on the Trey Lance? Do I need to fire back up the Trey Lance fire for you?
Well, we can talk about it.
Can we talk about it rationally now? Because earlier I don't think that we could, because you just your face turned reds and you just say I don't know, and that
it may turn red again, because to me it was just a dumb move, and especially when you don't even tell your head coach.
Mike McCarthy had to know.
No, he didn't.
Mike McCarthy.
Why would Jerry lie about it?
Well,
he has nothing to gain by lying about it. If you're Jerry, you'd say, yeah, of course Mike knew. And he was on board.
Well, I think we're splitting hairs on when Mike McCarthy knew. Well, but when you listen to Jerry,
yeah,
like when they were making the trade, like the phone, it was one call apparently. Like when you listen to Jerry, I'm imagining there was a call and a decision and an agreement. But prior to the call, there was conversation with Mike McCarthy on his thoughts about Trey Lance. So I don't believe that Mike McCarthy was blindsided by the move, although he wasn't a part of the decision-making process.
No, we didn't tell anybody until we did it, period. There was nobody that knew it. We told Mike after we'd done it.
Sounds to me like Mike didn't know anything.
To get it done.
Have you talked to Dak since then?
No, I have not.
When you say you told Mike after, did he have any input on the decision?
Just that he liked him as a quarterback coming out.
All right, so
but that's our decision.
There was conversation about Trey Lance with the head coach before the deal was done.
According to Jerry Jones, unless I'm interpreting that differently, Jerry Jones says he didn't say anything to Mike. He didn't say anything to anybody, period. That was Jerry Jones's words. And so I have a feeling that Jerry said, hey, well, we've just traded for Trey Lance. And Mike, well, he was a pretty good quarterback coming out.
Well, I know he said before.
He didn't say that.
Play it again.
No, we didn't tell anybody until we did it, period. There was nobody that knew it. We told Mike after we'd done it. But my point is, we just wanted to get it done.
Have you talked to Dak since then?
No, I have not.
When you say you told Mike after, did he have any input on the decision?
Just that he liked him as a quarterback coming out.
So the question, does he have any input on him?
But then he's talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Well, it's Jerry Jones. Of course he is. So my feeling is when they knew that Trey Lance, like, all right, we're going to talk to him. We set the appointment. We got a call with the Niners at 3:00 about Trey Lance. Mike, what do you think? Hey, he's good. All right. So we get on the phone and we get a deal done.
That's not how it happened. It's beer bet, because they're going to ask Mike McCarthy at the press conference, not a press conference. It's a conference call with reporters. And that question will be asked. And I guarantee you, Mike McCarthy had no clue. Beer bet?
Sure.
Okay.
But I don't know if we'll actually get a real answer because Mike McCarthy is going to be all on board. I mean, because Jerry said that prior to they had a second round grade, they liked him, all that other kind of stuff. And so
he didn't say prior to, Jason. He said he didn't tell anybody, period.
When they were
he
doing,
told Mike
when they
McCarthy
were doing
after the
deal,
fact.
There wasn't all right, well, here's the offer. What does everybody think? They never hung up the phone. But prior to, when he asked about input, what was his input prior to? And he said, well, Mike said he liked him.
When you say you told Mike after, did he have any input on the decision?
When you told Mike after, that's what he said.
Well, what's the input after? There's no such thing as input after.
His input was, he was a good player. Mike McCarthy didn't know. It's obvious by that soundbite, Mike McCarthy had no clue this was coming. No clue at all. Jerry and Steven were sitting up in their ivory tower, and they said, hey, it'd be pretty good to have Trey Lance. Well, you think McCarthy needs to know? Nah, he doesn't need to know. This is our team, and it's going to make a hell of a splash.
They weren't getting off the phone. The
input, it's clear there. I don't know what you're not understanding. It's clear that Jerry says we told no one, period.
Mm-hmm.
And the input was after the fact. It's like Jerry said, hey, Mike, guess what? We just traded for Trey Lance. What do you think of him? That's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy had no input in this deal at all.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, I don't know why Jerry would lie about it.
I think Jerry is taking all the heat for this one.
The heat?
All of it.
He thinks he's taking all the credit for it.
Well, credit, heat. I mean, the reactions, as you might expect, with the Dallas Cowboys are extremely mixed. There are guys like you that have been screaming for the Cowboys to have a developmental quarterback.
Yes.
They have one now, but you don't like it because he didn't work out in San Francisco and it cost you a 4th-round pick to get a guy that was taken in the 1st.
No, I don't like the timing of it. The timing of it stinks.
So if they would have done this,
if they'd have done it 2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah. I say, you know what? Take a shot at this guy. The timing of it right now stinks. He can do nothing for you this year unless you're unlucky as hell and Dak and Cooper Rush get hurt.
But they're not counting on him to do anything this year at all. He is a developmental guy that has a lot of intel on San Francisco.
Candidly, as far as I don't want to plan on, count on, or wish for help from him this year.
Yeah. So if you bring the guy in, if you have a guy, if you would have drafted a guy, then you have him here. That's a developmental guy. He would have gone through spring training. He'd have gone through training camp with you, and he's a member of that, and he knows clearly what that is. To just blindside your football team by just making a trade that nobody knows about, that nobody else had any input in, and you just do it because you want to make a splash as a publicity stunt.
A publicity
That's
stunt.
all this was.
I don't know. I mean,
has nothing to, he can't even, how much can you develop him over this year?
Well, they do practice almost every day, and they have film study. They do all kinds of things. I mean, and Mike McCarthy has another quarterback in the room.
Excited about the acquisition. Obviously, I think anytime you have an opportunity to, really just trust your, personnel grades. I mean, obviously he's a young man that was highly sought of, in all organizations, no different than ours. So, the timing of it is tough. And that's where I'd really like to shift gears here because I can't tell you how proud I am of Will Greer and the team, just the way they played tonight. But yeah, I think he gets some time maybe tomorrow or Monday. I'm not, that hasn't been finalized, or I haven't seen that itinerary yet. So, but excited to have him part of it. He's coming to a damn good football team, a great locker room, and an outstanding quarterback room.
That's frustration, like beyond belief. And he even says the timing of it stinks, and it does. The timing of this trade stinks. It's horrible. It makes no sense to anybody.
It doesn't. But they, again, Jerry said they didn't want to hang up the phone. There was no, all right, whatever the case is. And you go back to the evaluations, the draft grades that they had on them, all that kind of stuff. And Mike McCarthy said after the game, and again, he talked to the media after the game. Will Greer goes out and lights up the joint with Dak Prescott calling plays. You got to trust your draft guys.
Well, I just think like all these decisions, there's history, there's evaluation, and there's value that you place on it, and all the feedback was extremely positive. So, and then also when you do get in these spots, especially for a player as young as he is, I think it's important to trust your grades, trust your evaluation process.
But look, if you're Mike McCarthy, honestly, and your owner, GM, whatever you want to call Jerry, goes out and makes a deal like this, as significant as this is, and you don't know anything about it, you're pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You're pissed. Hey, Mike McCarthy might not even be his head coach next year. That's a possibility. I mean, all of this just stinks. The timing of it is just, it's horrible.
Well, what do you guys think of the Trey Lance situation? I'm just letting you vent, man.
Well, I appreciate it. It's horrible.
Just keep
timing.
going.
The timing stinks.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
This is Texas A&M football on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Saturday night at 5, it's the Aggies and New Mexico. Presented by Ewald Kubota, ABC Home and Commercial Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. They are online at tsaog.com.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"? "You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa." Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We're rolling out store-wide savings this Labor Day at the Home Depot. Like up to $15 off Scott's WinterGuard Turf Builder. Because long weekends are all about getting outside, putting down roots for the fall, and feeding a lawn you can enjoy all year round. Shop Labor Day savings at the Home Depot and get up to $15 off Scott's WinterGuard Turf Builder. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The daddy finally got the math down deal. Okay, so 3 McNuggets dipped 3 times plus 5 of my fries minus 3 of your fries plus a bite of your McNuggets.
Hey.
Equals?
There's a deal for every moment on the McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Get all your favorite items, like a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, a McDouble, small fries, and a McChicken for just a few bucks. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to My Computer Career and take the free career evaluation. You can start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now's the time. Go to mycomputercareer.edu.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
It's football season and the Roo Pub is kicking off their 10-year anniversary party. Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch a game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College football, pro football, the games are on at the Roo. Aggie fans, every game will be on with sound. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Celebrating 10 years, the Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Nigel, why are you wearing a backpack?
I'm going back to school.
Folks, when your AC decides to flunk out or your home's plumbing is stuck in detention, you don't have to worry. At Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC, and Heating, our technicians are certified with all the latest technology and can fix any plumbing or AC issue fast and at a fair price because you deserve A+ service.
Gotta go, Joel. We're studying paper mache. I might have to pull an all-nighter.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743458. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube. SASportsStar.com. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Fullersville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the cuts are already coming in, but tomorrow afternoon, all NFL teams have to trim their rosters to 53. Some, though, are not waiting. There have been some, but the biggest name, at least for us around these parts, Longhorn quarterback Colt McCoy, no longer with the Arizona Cardinals. The Texas Rangers are now tied with the Astros, but both are a game back of Seattle in the AL West chase. Rangers open up a series in New York against the Mets tonight, a game you can catch right here at 5:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Monday afternoon.
Good to be here on a Monday afternoon.
You know, we're in a room with no windows.
None.
Although apparently there might have been a storm that hit San Antonio a little bit. Did anybody get rain?
Yeah, please let us know because we can't see.
I see Vinny Vanzetta from Channel 5 said it. How did a 5-minute storm knock out my power for an hour and a half? Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. I looked on my security cameras. Doesn't look like it rained at my house.
Well, then it didn't rain at mine.
That sucks.
That was nice. I got some rain yesterday on the golf course. It was
but your golf course is in Kerrville. That does none of us any good.
Well,
here.
It didn't, but I'm just saying, well, it did me good because the first 9 holes was hot as hell.
Oh.
So then that wind comes in, the clouds, a little rain. It was nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're just jealous. That's all.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You talk about dark days in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
Imagine you're Michael Dunn.
Michael Dunn.
Okay. Michael Dunn is a offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns.
Uh-huh.
It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Michael.
He's 29 years old. The Cleveland Browns on their social media this morning. Nice little graphic. Happy birthday, Michael Dunn. Join us in sending the happiest of birthday wishes to @MikeDunn4Real. That's his Twitter account. And see, that tweet was at 9 a.m. Probably schedule send, right?
Yeah.
11:45. The Browns are waving offensive lineman Michael Dunn.
I have a feeling they didn't check with the social media department, right?
Oh.
Wow. Well, that's too bad. There's an offensive lineman, though.
Michael Dunn.
There he is.
Yeah, he's done in Cleveland.
Done in Cleveland. Could he be with the Dallas Cowboys soon?
You know, he's an offensive lineman with a pulse. And at this
Exactly.
point, that's what the Dallas
Isn't that what
Cowboys are
Josh
looking
Ball
for,
was
right?
anyway?
Well, debatable. I don't know how good any of these guys are. I mean, of all the things that I'm good at while watching football, evaluating offensive linemen, I have no idea, right?
Right,
so
right.
Now we can all see bad,
Uh-huh.
right? It's easy to tell a bad offensive lineman.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Josh Ball.
Josh Ball, right? Who was the guy that got some dude in Atlanta rich? Remember that game, or the Olay game, where he gave up, like, one guy gave up 6 tackles, Chaz something or other?
I don't remember.
He was with the Cowboys. It was a Ben DiNucci-like performance from a offensive lineman position.
Uh-huh.
But, man, you know, cut down day in the NFL. Oh, I thought Pledge was about to say something. Well, Adrian Claiborne is the guy that got paid. Well, who was the offensive lineman for the Cowboys that got him paid?
Oh, you're right. It was Chaz Green.
Chaz Green, yeah.
Chaz Green.
Yeah. And then the jokes at the time, Claiborne needs to send that guy a cut. Give him a percentage of that ridiculous money.
Unbelievable. By the way, Red Roddy says it rained in Helotes. So just throwing that out there.
I mean, clearly there was a little bit of rain.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yesterday at my house, it got windy. I was out doing some ribs, and it got a little windy.
And that felt good, didn't it? I mean, that wind felt good.
It did.
I think it was actually coming out of the north.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, as close as we'll get to a cold front in a while.
What are you, Bill Taylor? Wind was coming out of the north?
Coming out of the north.
You have no idea.
You know why I know this? I know this because, and it all goes back to golf.
Okay.
Normally, these holes, and I've played that course enough to know that typically the wind comes out of the south and it's in your face on particular holes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yesterday, it was behind me. Wind was coming out of the north.
Okay.
There you go.
Joe Reinagel, meteorologist. The official meteorologist of San Antonio Sports Star.
Thank you. I'm honored.
I mean, look, you spent 25 years in the TV news business.
Uh-huh.
Every night before you went on, you had to listen to 8 minutes of Bill Taylor. I mean, clearly you had to learn something at the time.
Well, you would think so, but, you know, I wouldn't do that. You know, the beauty of TV was the fact that I could go in there about 30 seconds out.
Yeah.
And so typically we're in a commercial break. So I'd walk in there as long as the mic was on and ready to go and just do my thing.
So you would be in the sports office until it was time? So you weren't paying attention to the weather? Did they page you? Joe Reinagel, sports in 2 minutes. Get your ass down the hall.
Sometimes they would. If I was running behind, yes. And there was a couple of times I'd be on the air like, San Antonio Spurs. That sounded creepy as hell, didn't it?
You have no idea.
Yeah, you'd be out of breath.
From what?
Running down the hall.
Oh, okay. You know, there's so many great stories when you're in the media business.
Yeah.
Especially in the TV news business. But I can imagine in Chicago right now, the stories going around the newsroom there in Chicago. A TV news crew got robbed at gunpoint of all their camera equipment while reporting on a robbery surge in Chicago. Chicago police say at least 30 robberies occurred over a 12-hour span on Sunday. And so there was a local TV station. I'm trying to see what affiliation. But they were the 1200 block of North Milwaukee. The news crew was reporting live, and they were jumped by a group of masked men that were armed. Officials say 3 men got out of vehicles wearing ski masks, displayed guns, and took the reporters' belongings. Specifically, police dispatch said the robbers stole the journalist's TV cameras.
Wow, those are expensive.
It's the second Chicago TV news crew to get robbed this month.
I got an idea. They might want to not do live shots in Chicago during this robbery surge. I'm just spitballing. Maybe you want to go from the the tower cam or whatever.
Can you imagine? Chicago is a major TV market.
Yes.
How many of those do you think are the MMJs, the multimedia journalists, where the reporter's also the cameraman? You see them setting up their own camera equipment and they've got to do it. Or do you think in Chicago you had a photographer, maybe even a producer in Chicago, right? You would think.
I would say, yeah, probably. I mean, it's the number 3 TV market in the country.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
does it?
not really.
It depends on who the report. If you're on the crime beat in Chicago,
I wouldn't imagine if you're out late in Chicago at night that you're going to be by yourself. I would assume you're going to have some people with you, at least one other.
Do you think the TV crews will now get a security guard?
They might. My guess would be they'll stop going live at night during this robbery surge, which means in Chicago they'll have to quit forever.
Well, I was going to say.
Exactly. So I can't imagine they would send one person out there. That'd be too dangerous in a city, because they're obviously in the city, in the place where the robbery surge is going on. But I mean, those crooks knew exactly what they were doing, man, because those TV cameras are, they can be pricey.
Well, but what do you do with them? You can't take that down to Action Pawn.
They can take it I'm sure they've got somewhere they can take it.
Man, look at that. You just got a text from my neighbor Hal.
Raining
hard.
Oh,
pull up my
look at
cameras
that.
and there is a downpour.
How about that?
That's
That's awesome. That means it's raining at my house.
The yard is saying thank you. Thank you very much.
It sure is.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And it's good to start seeing some rain around
And
here.
it must be kind of windy too, because one of my lawn chairs has moved from where it was 5 minutes ago when I checked.
I could check on my handy dandy weather app.
Where
See
your
what's
lawn chair
happening.
is? It's raining. You don't need an app for that. You got neighbor Hal. All he's got to do is text and say it's raining, and I'm good. Pull up the cameras. Yep. Looks like rain at the house. That makes me happy.
I got to get
so glad
on
I
that
didn't go to
camera
the
thing.
wash tub this morning.
And I was looking at my car and it was dirty because driving home in the rain yesterday, it was dirty. Oh, man. That looks like Kevin Brock.
Kevin Brock's in the building?
Kevin Brock's in the building.
Big Kev.
Wow.
Big Kev in the building.
That's always a treat. You got KB in the house.
Well, it's funny because we're talking about fantasy football. Maybe Brock is by here to
I hope so,
make
because
his
it was
deposit.
always a great donation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord knows we need his donation.
Absolutely.
Phil Anaya is texting about our draft order. Apparently he's been hearing us give him a bunch of crap.
Well, I
which
mean,
is good.
Does that mean, did you get the first pick? I'm just curious.
Everybody wants to know about our fantasy football draft.
Of course they do.
Apparently I am picking number 9. Here's our
Number
draft
9.
order. Bob Ballou took number 1.
How about that?
There's one spot for me to check our draft order according to this text. Which draft position do you want? Bob is 1, Evan Klosky is 2, Casey Vera 3, Paul Morales 4, Joe Reinigle 5, Phil Anaya 6, Bill Taylor 7, Nate Ryan 8, and Rob Thompson took 10. So there's one spot available for me, and that is Tony Romo's number 9. So I guess I'm going to go with number 9.
Kevontae Turpin?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with number 9.
I'm picking 9th. We got breaking news?
It's actually raining outside right this second.
It's raining outside.
Raining outside.
All right.
All
Breaking
right.
news, people. It's raining. That means traffic is going to suck.
It's going to suck. You know what? I'm happy, though. I'll gladly, as long as I visit the men's room before I leave, I'll be good.
Lord. Trey Lance, a Dallas Cowboy. Your reaction. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, a hole-in-one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hey, I want to tell you about a family I've known for a long time. It is the Woods family. In fact, I grew up with the Woods family in my hometown of Alice, Texas. And as long as I've known them, they've been in the air conditioning business, and they still are. And that's good news for you because, look, if you're having a problem with your air conditioner, there is no better company or family to call than the Woods family. It's Woods Comfort Systems. In fact, right now, if you've been thinking about a new energy efficient AC system for your home, well, right now at Woods Comfort Systems, you can take advantage of up to $2,500 in rebates, a free 12-year parts and labor warranty, and you're going to get a free Solaris indoor air quality package to boot. You got to take advantage of these special offers. Call 877-324-6902. Again, that phone number, 877-324-6902. You can also get them online at woodscomfortsystems.com. Look, the Woods family, they've been doing this for over 60 years. They are good people. They will take care of you. 877-324-6902. Woods Comfort Systems, where comfort is their middle name.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either a Dave's single, spicy chicken sandwich, medium frosty, or 10-piece nuggets, you can get another for just $1. Your dollar never tasted so good. So it's obvious what everyone will get, right?
Definitely nugs
Spicy
and
chicken
a frosty.
sandwich,
Dave's single and a frosty for me.
and a frosty. Okay, who said frosty and a frosty? Pick your obvious choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, buy one, get one for $1.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined in a combo or any other offer.
School on! Save on!
Back to school is on, and Staples has great prices on everything you need for your best year yet. Save on headphones and laptops. Save on notebooks, pens, and all the essentials. Priced low and still in stock. And right now at Staples, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each. Plus, select notebooks are just 35 cents each. School on, save on at Staples, where school savings are always in session. Ends 9/16. In-store only, limit 30.
You know you have hard water. This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. And for just around $1 a day, the hard water gets softened away with a professional whole house water softener from Connecticut. Soften your water, spare your hair, and protect your clothing. It's so affordable for around $1 a day. Finally eliminate those hard water spots on your granite countertop and shower. So don't delay. Visit ConnecticutSA.com. Some people get caught in a cycle of wasting money on other softeners that continually break and leave them disappointed. With a Connecticut, you will actually invest your money into something that lasts and works again and again. It's why Dave Ramsey recommends Connecticut and why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models, and it's the water softener in South Texas you can depend on. Call my team at 210-656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Attention business owners. If you had W-2 employees during the pandemic, you are potentially leaving a lot of money on the table. I'm sure you've heard of the ERC, or Employee Retention Credit, from people promising outrageous returns and charging an arm and a leg to get what's rightfully yours. If you'd like to talk to someone born and raised here, to an expert you can meet in person and not some salesman in New York, visit me, Mike Rooney, at SanAntonioERC.com. Not everyone is going to get approved, and I can't promise $26,000 per employee, but it's worth looking into at SanAntonioERC.com.
Tuesday on R&R in the Morning, Rob returns, and I want to get his thoughts on the Trey Lance trade and the fallout. Also, tomorrow is NFL cut day. Did my guy, my client, Malik Davis, make the cut? And is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to be the latest superstar to ask out? Now back to the Blitz. Joe. How's your boy Will Greer doing? Are you happy? You sad? How you feeling today about that, Joe?
Yeah, Joe, how you feeling about old Will Greer?
He was crying on the podium the other night. You see that?
Well, actually, no.
You didn't see it? I didn't see it either, but I heard it. I heard him crying on the podium the other night. He had a great game. I'm happy for him. He should probably be employed sometime soon.
I wonder if that factored into the decision to go get Trey Lance. And I say that if the Cowboys felt like they weren't going to be able to hide him on the practice squad, and they were going to be in that need of a third string quarterback, because you can have three, you can have your emergency guy.
Yeah.
There's no room for him on the 53. The Cowboys are having tough decisions to make right now. Like Asimi Fahoko probably doesn't make this team. Malik Davis probably doesn't make this team. Jabril Cox probably doesn't make this team. If you're not going to be able to hide Will Greer, and you've got a chance at a Trey Lance, you're a developmental guy who isn't going to help you this year, no plans for him to help you this year, you make that deal.
Well, so that was all Jerry Jones' decision, I guess, that you couldn't, and he was
he's the owner of the team. It is his decision.
He thought that out, that they weren't going to be able to keep Will Greer. I don't know if Jerry thought about that. He knew he had an opportunity to go get Trey Lance, and he did it. He didn't consult with anybody. He just pulled the trigger, made it happen, and they had no choice but to get rid of Will Greer after that. And I think, and look, it's a business, and I get it. Will said as much. Dak said as much. But I think Mike McCarthy, blindsided as he was a little upset by that. I think he liked what he had in Will Greer. And, who knows if that would have played out? I don't know. But I think McCarthy liked what he had in Greer, and it was pulled out from underneath him.
I look at from that aspect, and again, I know Jerry said that he didn't consult Mike McCarthy, although I have a hard time believing that as 100%. Now, when it was decision-making time, yeah, Mike didn't have any input.
Why would Jerry lie about it?
Well,
I don't understand. How does he benefit by going in front of the media and telling everybody that they made this call, they didn't tell anybody, and even at a period, and then that was it?
I just, but the follow-up question about input, they liked him. So I look at it, and we're splitting hairs at this point because we've been around the Cowboys enough to realize there's so often a group decision. That seems very unusual.
I don't think so in this case.
Jerry and Steven and Will McClay, like Jerry Jones makes it sound like he didn't tell anybody.
Well, that's what he said. He even said, period.
Oh,
I mean, he said, period.
And again,
I don't know what else. That's like, I didn't tell anybody. Period.
And he's never lied to us about anything.
Well, I just don't understand. Mike McCarthy was obviously upset about it.
Well, but from a Mike McCarthy standpoint, you develop a guy, and you've had Will Greer there for a long time. Whatever the situation is, the personal relationship, and yeah, Will Greer, go out and play your ass off because you're auditioning for 31 other teams right now.
Yeah, I thought that was a classy move by Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys to allow him to, because the trade had already been announced, obviously, before that. So he knew he was out.
But by all accounts, everybody likes him. But also to make this move, there wasn't a future for Will Greer with the Dallas Cowboys.
Not if you're going to trade for Trey Lance. No, there's not.
And so if Mike knew that, and Jerry and Steven and Will McClay and everybody else knew that, then it is just so bizarre. Timing of it from San Francisco, the timing of it with the Dallas Cowboys. And I wonder, though, if anybody had called about Will Greer, although the asking price maybe have been too high, but if a team that wants a Will Greer, and yeah, he's going to get released, but if you're not in the pecking order to claim him, you're not guaranteed to get him. So that's why you could see a trade. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys aren't announcing trades today ahead of time. They're waiting until tomorrow to see A, who's available, but B, they might be trying to trade somebody that has a little bit of value.
I mean, that's always possible, certainly. But, I mean, everybody in the NFL knows that Will Grier is going to be cut. So why would you trade for him unless, you need him and think somebody else could get him? But look, I want to go back to something you said because I obviously misunderstood. You said that Will Grier didn't have a future with the Dallas Cowboys. Or now, are you saying that before the Trey Lance thing, that there was no future for Will Grier with Dallas?
No, I thought Will Grier was going to win the backup job last year.
Well, and he should have.
But clearly, if the Cowboys, who have been searching for the developmental quarterback to have on their roster, and we've heard Jerry talk about that in the draft, and he hasn't gotten it done. You're in a second training camp with Will Grier, and you're willing to move on for a guy like Trey Lance. Tells me the Cowboys might have liked Will Grier, but he wasn't that guy.
Well, and so you're assuming now, or they're assuming now that Trey Lance is.
Well, I mean, yes, as a developmental guy, they want to bring him in, see what he has, see what he is, kick the tires on him. And if he's not, in a couple years, in next year, whatever the case may be, he gets released. But they're kicking the tires on it. So
this was a publicity stunt. That's all it was.
Yeah, because the Cowboys need to make the news.
It was. Did they have you watched anything? It's been all about Dallas Cowboys since that happened on Friday.
But I look at the Cowboys constantly say they're always looking to improve their roster. Did they with this move? The jury is out. We don't know what Trey Lance could be with the Dallas Cowboys. He was a bust for the San Francisco 49ers. If Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, doesn't end up playing as well as he does, Trey Lance is still with San Francisco, and they're trying to figure out what to do with him.
I don't think that's the case. I think that they realize they made a mistake. I don't think it has anything to do with Brock Purdy. Trey Lance was given an opportunity. He got hurt. That limited his time. Then he even had an opportunity this year to beat out one or both of those guys, Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold. Couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it, either one. And so they've decided that they gave up the farm for this guy, and then they let him walk for nothing. And then all of a sudden he's, oh my gosh, he's a developmental guy. He's the guy. He's the one. He's going to push Dak. I mean,
nobody has said that except you.
No,
nobody has said that except you.
You haven't said it, but there have been people that work on this radio station that have.
Well, you're talking about the King Troll?
I don't know.
Rudy J.
Rudy J.
As
a matter of fact,
you're
on
not,
our YouTube channel,
you're not taking that serious.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this is Mr. Mike is only going to have 2.5 sacks. I mean, you have to know when Rudy is straight trolling, and that was a straight troll.
The timing of this trade sucks. I have been calling for the Cowboys to do something to get in a guy, plan B. Yes, but the timing of this makes no sense. When you have got a great opportunity to win a Super Bowl this year and you make a move like this, it makes no sense. Well, it makes no sense.
This from that angle, it doesn't hurt your Super Bowl chances. It doesn't help your Super Bowl.
I don't know if it doesn't hurt your Super Bowl chances.
How does it hurt your Super Bowl chances this year? It doesn't. He's not going to be a factor this year at all.
Well, I mean, there's a little something about that quarterback room. Who knows? I don't know. You think he and Dak are going to get along? Cooper Rush? You don't know that. They had a pretty good quarterback room going on. Obviously, Dak Prescott was not happy. Mike McCarthy was not happy. I don't know why you try to sugarcoat this thing.
Who's trying to sugarcoat it?
You are.
How? Because I don't agree with you on sugarcoating it?
Exactly.
You're an idiot then.
Well, you are.
I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. The move, I've said, the move doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Fair enough.
Unless the biggest value Trey Lance has to the Dallas Cowboys this year is his knowledge of how San Francisco does stuff. And you see guys all picked up when they're about to play a team, and you get that intel, right? That, just like whoever picks up Will Grier is going to be able to download his information, and he's the scout team guy. San Francisco's the team that you have trouble getting over the hump with. That's your kryptonite. So you bring in a quarterback that's been in their system, in their quarterback room for a couple years. You don't think you're going to gain some knowledge from that?
So you think Shanahan's just going to stay as is? No problem.
Well, we traded away Trey Lance. We've got to change our entire system.
I think Shanahan is setting this up perfectly. He got rid of his trash and gave it to the Dallas Cowboys. That's perfect. It's genius.
Name another coach and GM that could do what San Francisco's done the last couple of years at the quarterback position and keep their jobs.
Well, didn't they go to the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Yep. Jury's out. Bam. Court's over.
Is that it?
Well, hey,
right?
I bet you the Dallas Cowboys would love to go to the NFC Championship game. When's the last time they were
bet
there?
You're right, but when you look at from a GM
it's hard
standpoint,
it's hard to knock somebody.
But
that's had success.
Despite the mistakes that they have made at the quarterback position, that's one hell of a football team over there.
Absolutely.
But you gave up what you did for Trey Lance. It didn't work. You pull the plug and you keep your job. That's pretty bizarre.
Well, you get to the NFC Championship game. Winning kind of cures a lot of ails.
Well, I mean, but did those mistakes cost them a Super Bowl?
Well, that's hard to determine because
I mean,
you had both of your guys get hurt. And
and again, I mean, but they had a Jimmy Garoppolo who got them to a Super Bowl.
Well, and I agree with you
they moved
there.
on from him.
They shouldn't have.
And then they brought him back. And then they wanted him instead of Tom Brady. And then I mean, it's just bizarre when you look at their moves. It has worked out for them because they're winning, right?
There you go. And stupid mistakes can be overcome by winning. It's they thought Trey Lance was the guy. Obviously, that was a mistake. They admitted it, and they let him go.
And a lot of teams thought that Trey Lance was a guy.
Well, nobody was willing to give up their whole draft capital to get him.
I mean, the Cowboys say they had a second-round grade on him coming out of college.
Okay.
Other teams had first-round grades on him. And so for the Cowboys to get a player that they had graded that high for a fourth-round pick as a developmental guy, and the owner is telling you we don't expect him to do a damn thing this year, it's worthy of the risk, right? But because it's the Cowboys and because it's Trey Lance, it's a firestorm about a third-string quarterback. Anybody else that makes this move, it's Trey Lance was traded today, and you move on. He's not going to push Dak Prescott for the starting job.
No, he's not.
That he wasn't brought in, Rudy J. Dak, you're on notice. That was dumb. And if you pay attention to that video, I'm in the background telling Rudy he's dumb as he's recording that thing.
Cowboys drive
He's
me
troll.
insane. I can really understand Cowboy fans' frustration for the last 28 years with Jerry Jones making bonehead publicity stunts
But
like
you
this
love
one.
that guy.
I love him. I do. And guess what? He wins. He wins. Whether Trey Lance makes it or not, as a Dallas Cowboy, today Jerry Jones is a winner because everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And we won't know if Trey Lance is going to do anything for Dallas until this time next year.
Even then, we might not know.
We might not.
Cooper Rush, you're on notice.
Today, Jerry is a winner.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Who is going to make that 53 for the Dallas Cowboys? Some guys that you thought were going to be there, Rudy, they're not. You planted your flag with the wrong at running back. We'll dive into that as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The preseason is behind us. You start thinking about your fantasy drafts. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. It's a great way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. It is fantasy, but you can win real money. It is legal in the state of Texas and a ton of fun. I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, and this year they have an NFL season-long Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players, select whether you think they're going to be higher or lower season total on stats, and then you watch the games, and if you could win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. And again, the Pick'em is a lot of fun to play. So go build your dream team today. Go over to the easy-to-use mobile app or on the website, UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use promo code STAR, and Underdog will double your first $1. So if you deposit 100, you're playing with 200. Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms to apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Tuesday on R&R in the morning, it is NFL cut day, and did my guy and my client Malik Davis make the cut? Also, we got to get Rob's thoughts on the Trey Lance trade and how he feels. And will Giannis be the next superstar to ask out as he tells Milwaukee, I'm not signing anything until we're all on the same page? The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Get up to an additional $1,500 off select major kitchen appliances. And save $100 off select laundry pairs, priced $1,396 or more. Plus, pick up the latest DeWalt PowerStack 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery kit and get a select Bear tool free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/30. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. While supplies last.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? Morgan's silver dollars are back for 2023. For the 100th anniversary, the U.S. Mint released the first legal tender Morgans in 100 years. They sold out instantly. Now, Morgan's silver dollars are back in 2023, minted in 99.9% pure silver, but only 275,000 coins were minted, and they will go fast. The entire market and experts agree this is a big deal and an amazing opportunity for both coin and silver buyers. Just call 1-800-571-6468, and you are guaranteed a 2023 brand new uncirculated 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. But with limited quantities, you must call now. To learn more, call 1-800-571-6468. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus Patriots pack, new and improved, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-571-6468 now to secure your new 2023 Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-571-6468.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: the one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill and football. That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill, which means more time for football. Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Score $1,000 cash for back to school and another $1K for your favorite school or charity. Register to win now at sasportstar.com. Good luck from the Institute for Functional Health and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday afternoon. UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor will join us coming up at 5:15.
Looking forward to that. Be good to talk to Coach Traylor.
Always
Always
good
is.
time. Always fun to play golf, too. Our Fall Golf Classic coming Monday, October 2nd. I know it's August. You're thinking October is far away. It's not.
No.
It was about a month out. Sign up today. Go to sasportsstart.com. Register your team. $400 for the foursome. If you don't have friends, it's $120 for a single player. All kinds of prizes, and you know how our golf tournaments are. Always a lot of fun, and the scenery is fantastic. Our Fall Golf Classic brought to you by the Lofts of Jesse Hernandez, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and, of course, we'll have a post-party at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. sasportstar.com to get your foursome signed up.
Well, that's almost as much fun as a golf tournament. The after party at Slackers.
Well, that's because we don't get to play golf.
I know, right? That's okay. Well, I will, because, you know, we're fortunate enough where we drive around, they let us hit a shot or two.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
A fireball or actually using their clubs?
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, their clubs too.
Yeah. What do you guys do when you work with somebody who might not? It's like the guy in the office that replies all to everything, and nobody really needs it. So we have a calendar.
Yes.
It's a Google Calendar, and it's a pretty full calendar because all the games that we carry on 94.1 or over on AM 1250, all the college games, the NFL games, we are your home for Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night football.
That's awesome.
And again, you put all the games on a calendar so everybody knows what's going on. Well, Tim Spence, boss guy, what are we calling him? The sweaty monkey?
Sweaty.
So we first started putting in some games, and we're all of us are getting calendar invites, which is, annoying. And everybody that responds, he's getting a gazillion more emails back because he's sending it to Pledge and you and me and Edwin and Rob and Rudy and who God knows out, right? And so we taught him, like, look, just invite people to the calendar, and you don't have to send anything out. And we just all know we can click a little button and it will appear on our calendar.
There it is.
And I think he was grateful for that. But I don't know what this guy is doing in his office right now, but in the last 30 minutes, we've got 71 emails. And all they are calendar changes for whatever reason.
And I've already deleted them all.
And they keep coming. But it's not like you have to accept anything. It's a notification.
Yes.
I mean, I don't need that. None of us need that.
Well, but he's got to have something to do back there.
Well, and it's not like, I don't know, game times haven't changed. I don't know why he's changing things, right? But at the same time, why is that a thing?
I don't know.
But when you work with somebody that doesn't quite understand certain technologies, how do you approach that? Because I thought we already accomplished the goal of teaching them how to work the calendar.
Well, I would like to make fun of the sweaty monkey there, but I'd probably have the same problem.
Well, I get it too, but once you figure it out and they just appear on
That's
everybody's
the problem.
calendar.
It takes a while for somebody like me to figure that out. That's what I'm saying. And maybe he's the same one, same kind of guy.
Did he just walk down the hall?
No.
Is he giving us the middle finger?
No, not yet.
He's too busy changing a game in December. Start time.
Hey, he'll have him on there.
It's just annoying because literally I was looking for an email for this segment and I can't find it because
you gotta wait through 70 emails.
71 as I deleted them. Delete all 71? Yes. And they're still coming.
Oh my goodness.
You want to listen to football on the radio? No better place.
Yeah, I
than
agree.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We got the Aggies that start this week.
Yes,
right?
they play New Mexico.
Aggies start. So they got a scrimmage on Saturday against New Mexico.
Well, wait a minute. You can't say that. We thought they had a scrimmage against Appalachian State last year too.
Well, but Appalachian State's good and with the chance to be competitive. You just didn't expect them to lose. I mean, the Lobos. Because they're playing New Mexico, right? Not New Mexico State.
It's
so
New
it's
Mexico.
not Aggie on Aggie crime.
No.
We're getting the Lobo team, the ones from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Bob Davies still coaching that team?
Dude, I have no idea. how much I pay attention to New Mexico football. Wow. I went to Albuquerque once. That's when UTSA played them in the, whatever they call it, the Mexico Bowl?
Yeah,
or
the New
whatever hell it
Mexico
is.
Bowl. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
It's the New Mexico Bowl.
Albuquerque's not the greatest place in the world. I mean, it's all right.
Well, I mean, it's not El Paso.
No, it's not El Paso. I like the Sun Bowl, though.
Sun Bowl is cool.
Sun Bowl's
El
cool.
Paso's not a bad town. And,
No,
and
no,
not
no.
far from El Paso, Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Okay.
Is a cool little town.
Well, Santa Fe's not bad.
Yeah.
But Albuquerque,
Albuquerque's a
armpit?
Not even. It's like toe jam.
Jam.
It's worse than that. I've actually have family in Albuquerque.
Oh, is that right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's and my grandfather and well, I guess my grandmother too, but my grandfather was buried at the National Cemetery out there just near Albuquerque, near Santa Fe.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my cousin who was from Albuquerque. He was on an episode of Cops one time in the Albuquerque Police Department.
Was he being chased?
Oh, he was being arrested. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the family group chat on that one was good.
Yeah, I was kind of halfway kidding, but I mean,
Yeah,
everybody needs their 15 minutes, Jason. Was he wearing a wife beater?
I don't know. I mean, the last time he got arrested, he didn't make Cops, but he got a long sentence. So he's never at a family reunion. But we always get updates.
You don't take him a turkey sandwich
No,
in jail?
I haven't seen that kid since he was like 12. Every family's got one.
Yeah, absolutely. No question.
But Cops, man, they spend a lot of time in Albuquerque for a reason.
Yes, they do.
Oh, good Lord.
Albuquerque.
Where are we going here?
Albuquerque.
So the projected 53. The projected 53 from the Cowboys. Rudy J is going to be very butthurt tomorrow morning because he is a big fan of Malik Davis. Now, if you ask him, what is it about Malik Davis that you like? And I'm not going to put words into Rudy J's mouth, but he doesn't have an answer other than, I like him. All right, cool. Why? I like him. All right. It doesn't look like Malik Davis is going to make the team.
Well, yeah, but I think he'll stick around, don't you? Practice squad guy. But I think you're right. I mean, most projections that I've seen have Pollard, Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn.
And some with 4 running backs have that Hunter Lupke guy.
That dude had a hell of a game the other night.
Well,
really
he's had a pretty solid preseason.
Yeah.
And if Hunter does make the active team, it's not necessarily for his running back abilities, it's special teams.
Sure. And I can see that guy in goal line situations, to be honest with you. He's a banger.
Well, I mean, again, they don't really have a fullback because they're going to keep 4 tight ends likely. Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Hendershot, and Sean McCann. The Cowboys just have way too many 3 tight end packages for them not to have 4 tight ends on the roster.
Sure.
Because I've seen some where they're projecting 3. I just don't see them going without a little bit of insurance because they just run too many 3 tight end sets.
Yeah, I think they'll keep 4 there. The other thing that you got to look for, and whether that's tomorrow or later in the week, is them adding something to the offensive line because Josh Ball's going to start the season on IR.
Yeah.
It's already been determined. He's out several weeks, so they're only going to have 9. And I think they'd like to have 10.
Well, that's generally the magic number for teams. And look at the waiver wire, especially anybody that can play guard and center. That's what they're going to be looking for. Because I do think, I mean, I don't know how you cut some of the offensive linemen that they're going to cut with their desperate need for offensive linemen.
Yeah, they've got to have it.
They've got to go find some guys. It's the wide receiver room that I look at that could be pretty interesting. Obviously, C.D. Brandon and Michael Gallup are easy. Turpin's going to make the team. Jalen Tolbert has had a hell of a training camp, and so is Jalen Brooks.
Do you keep more than 5?
I could see 6 because of special teams, but I don't see Simi Fehoko making this team.
No, I don't either.
The 2 Jalens have played too well, and Kevontae Turpin was too good of a project for them to let go, plus he's your return guy.
Well, unless Deuce Vaughn returns. I mean, I could see Vaughn doing that, and I think he'd be very good at it. And in fact, to me, that's a perfect spot for Deuce Vaughn.
Now, if they go 5, then Jalen Brooks goes to the practice squad.
Yeah.
I still don't see Simi Fehoko making the team.
I don't either. I'm with you there. I don't think he does either. And they like Turpin, and because I mean, my goodness, he's been playing. I mean, he played a lot more wide receiver than he did last year in training camp. He was involved in that quite a bit. So I think that he makes it, and maybe they make that transition. Maybe he's more of a wide receiver than he is a special teams guy.
When I look at the defensive side of the ball, Jabril Cox didn't do enough in training camp. Certainly didn't flash while we were in Oxnard.
Right.
I think he is done. Marquise Bell is the guy that had a really good camp, especially when we were in Oxnard with Overshone out for the year. I think Bell ends up taking the spot of Jabril Cox and makes this team.
You know, I think on defense, we're going to be surprised by some of the names because their defense is deep. Obviously, the strength of this ball club. And I think that's, if there's going to be some big surprises, that's where it's going to happen. And some of these guys that are going away are guys that, you know, on any other team might be starters.
Well, and like Neville Gallimore.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers. I thought he was going to be out till we talked to John Machota on Friday, and he brought up the way Dan Quinn likes to do stuff. So, all right, maybe, you know, with that 2 technique, maybe that's something that's able to keep him around. But I'm not going to be surprised tomorrow if I see Neville Gallimore's name. Secondary with Jordan Lewis, if he starts on the pup list. Maybe I look at a guy like Kelvin Joseph. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, he's kind of one of those bubble guys, even though he was a nice pick.
I could see him going away.
Could be a slot guy.
Yeah.
But again, he's another name that you kind of think is there, but
I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the toughest decisions, I think, is going to be on that defense.
Well,
and again, I think there's going to be some guys that you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe that guy's gone.
I look at training camp. Eric Scott played well. That Thomas kid played well. Nashawn Wright. And so you wonder, is Kelvin Joseph? You've had your opportunities.
Yes.
And although with the injury to Jordan Lewis, you know, maybe he keeps his job until Lewis is back, and then, you know, the correlating move when Jordan Lewis is available is
he's out.
Yeah.
I think Joseph is gone tomorrow. We'll see, but I think he is.
Going to be interesting. The bizarre thing is we're sitting here at 4:52 on a Monday afternoon. And outside of Will Greer, we don't know.
We don't.
We don't know. The Cowboys aren't going to notify players until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have already told players. They've made the announcements. They've made it official.
Yes.
The Cowboys typically do that. The Cowboys are, generally speaking, one of the first to make those announcements, let people know. This year, they're not doing that. And to this point, they haven't. If a guy knows, they're keeping it quiet. Certainly no tweets from the team. Hey, thanks, guys. It was fun. I mean, it's you know, the Cowboys have released. We're not getting any of that. And, you know, it will start trickling out early tomorrow morning.
Sure,
I'm sure.
If not later tonight.
But the Cowboys, for whatever reason, have decided not to be ahead on this. The deadline's at 3:00. I'll let you know by 2:55.
You know, I really, I don't know if I like it this way or back to the old way it used to be, where you had your cut down day from 90 to 70, and then the final cut down day was to 53, where you kind of eased it into it. This is just all bam, one big cut. And that's a lot of play. You figure about 40 players from each team. That's what, 1,200 players?
Yeah, there's 1,200 guys that are destined for the USFL or the XFL.
Yeah.
And you look at that, and because the games, the preseason games have, I don't want to say been better, but you don't have starters playing. You keep those guys around just to play in those preseason games. But at the same time, yikes! I mean, you just look at it and it's like, what is going on?
I don't know. I'm just glad it's over. We can move on. It looks like most NFL teams are going to get the weekend off. I know the Cowboys schedule, they have nothing scheduled Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Kind of give the guys one last weekend before the season begins. So, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
The NFL season, we still have a little more than a week.
Yeah.
The college season, I know we had a little appetizer this weekend, but it gets going in full swing this weekend. Starting Thursday night, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Rue Pub. Couple of big games coming up Thursday. On Saturday, the Aggies, and a game you can listen to right here on 94.1. Andrew Monaco will have the call as they take on New Mexico, and UTSA will head down to the University of Houston. Jeff Traylor will join us at about 5:15. The beginnings of our weekly visits with Jeff Traylor.
No doubt about it. Hey, for years I was always told, look, you got to find something to take care of your face. Take better care of the skin on your face. And really, most of that stuff is kind of girly stuff. And you really can't find anything unless you pay an arm and a leg for it. That is until now. I found Toro Cosmeceuticals. Yeah, you've heard me talking about it. And I tell you what, I love it. Sunburn again yesterday because I'm a fool and I don't put enough sunscreen on. But I get home, I put Toro skincare products on my face, and it just feels fantastic. What it is? Well, it's a luxury skincare product line just for men. And the best part about it is it's affordable. And it's everything you need, whether it's face wash, moisturizer, toner, eye cream, shave, and beard oil. It feels great going on, but it can actually repair your skin. You're going to look healthier, that's for sure. And you might even look a little bit younger. Toro is definitely a game changer. It is an experience, and it's all for you guys. It's working for me, and I know you're going to like it as well. And, to get you started, Toro is offering you 20% off. All you have to do is go to toroskincare.com, enter the code word Joe. That's toroskincare.com, enter the code word Joe. You got to try this stuff, fellas. It's time to treat yourself. You deserve it.
The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, presents
94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, Monday, October 2nd at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now for $120 per person or $400 per foursome. Plus, a hole-in-one shot for your chance at $50,000 or a $1,000 gift card. 94.1 San Antonio's Fall Golf Classic, benefiting the Lupus Foundation of America, Lone Star Chapter. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Flight by Yingling, Twin Peaks, Renewal by Anderson, Meritage Homes, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing or your AC, there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they do not have commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: getting projects done right with Behr Premium Plus interior paint
and football.
That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. And with Behr's wall-to-wall coverage and long-lasting durable finish, you'll spend less time worrying about your walls,
which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Behr and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Get up to an additional $1,500 off select major kitchen appliances. And save $100 off select laundry pairs, priced $1,396 or more. Plus, pick up the latest DeWalt PowerStack 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery kit and get a select Bear tool free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/30. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details while supplies last.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
This is Rudy J from R&R in the Morning. Set your alarm and wake up with us morning 6 to 10. Plenty of sports and good fun right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Houston Texans have finally done it. They have named a starting quarterback. His name is C.J. Stroud. Texans open up on the road in Baltimore. Tomorrow afternoon, all NFL teams have to trim their rosters to 53. Some have already started, including the Arizona Cardinals. They've released quarterback Colt McCoy. And the Rangers, Astros, all tied. But they're a game back of Seattle in the AL West. Rangers open up a series against the Mets in New York. Starts tonight.
Sports Center is brought to you by BraintreeNutrition.com. Better sleep, more focus. BraintreeNutrition.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Monday afternoon. Big day in the NFL with all the cuts that we expect over the next 24 hours, the ones we know and the ones we anticipate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to watch throughout the NFL, especially the Dallas Cowboys, and see what they do, because there's guarantee you there's going to be a name or 2 or 3 on there that's going to make you scratch your head a little bit.
Always that way, right? And I look at, some of it's the business side of football. When does a guy get vetted? When is a guy, is he saving $800,000 here, 1.2 million? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of it just flat doesn't make any sense. It'll be interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys ultimately end up doing.
I don't know. I don't like just cutting everybody at once. I prefer the double cut.
Why do you like the double cut?
I like the double cut because it kind of eases you into it.
Eases who?
Well, me.
Why?
And so, you cut from 90 to 70. And
fair enough, because it really is all about Joe Reinagel.
Of course it is.
It's easier for him to process 600 names than 1,200 names.
Well, then you kind of get a feel for, look, these are the 70. And so you kind of get a better feel, or at least I do, for what's going to happen on the final roster. So now 40, I mean, it's crazy.
Anybody that was going to be part of the initial cuts, you're not thinking about anyway.
Probably not.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, it does.
It's better for the preseason games for them not to play starters to keep all these guys around. And it's better for them. They get a couple more weeks of paychecks from the NFL.
Well, good for them. And I think that's the idea, right? That's what the union did when they instituted this thing.
When I look at guys that you look at that are bubble guys, and there's a couple with San Antonio ties. I look at a guy like Sincere McCormick, who was with the Raiders on Saturday night, looking at some cuts that they've already announced. A running back was on that list, but it was not Sincere McCormick's name. So as of now, unless they've done something in the last 3 minutes, he is still on that team, which that's good. That's great for him.
I love it. And I think he's played well enough. I didn't get a chance to see him as much as I would have liked to on Saturday night, but he's played well in the first 2 preseason games. Hopefully it's enough that he gets a spot on that team.
You just look at it, and a lot of times, cut down day, it's tough, right? But so many of them, we have no idea who they are. They weren't going to be impact guys, but probably core special teamers, unless there's somebody that you just know, kind of like, watching a Sincere McCormick, watching him in college, watching him in high school, and then you root for him to make it in the NFL. So you kind of hope for that. And him overcoming the injury, even if he does get let go, which at this point, I don't see his name on the list, you figure he'll end up being on the practice squad of the Raiders.
Be a good question to ask Coach Jeff Traylor about. And if he's talked to Sincere at all, I think that'll be interesting. And by the way, he's going to join us right about 5:15.
Yeah,
10 minutes or so from now.
About 10 minutes. And, again, he's the he's the head coach in a college. So, when they make decisions, he's fully aware of everything that they go. A lot of talk about the way the Trey Lance deal went down with the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people, Joe Reinagle, upset that Jerry didn't even consult head coach Mike McCarthy before the trade. Jerry's words, although I still wonder if that was completely honest. Mike McCarthy in a press conference or a conference call just a moment ago. You got it ready, Pledge? No, apparently we don't have it ready. We do have it ready. Was talked about how the Trey Lance deal went down.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but I think like any of these things, the involvement during the week when I'm trying to put the days together. But yeah, I was involved in the evaluation, and but the actual business component of it, that is, I am not involved in it.
So he was involved in the evaluation of what? Because Jerry said this was quick.
It was.
It just
quick.
happened really quick.
But do we go after this guy? Do we like him? Is this somebody that we want to go? Yeah, if you can go get him. I'm not a part of the negotiations on if he's worthy of a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, or 2 bags of chips and a Dr. Pepper. But what Mike McCarthy is saying is he was aware that there were conversations about Trey Lance in the building, and he was okay with it based on his evaluation. Once it got to the business side, he's out of it.
You can read it that way. I don't see that he was okay with it. I just don't. Even listening to him there, I mean, he's struggling to find his words as to what to say. I don't want to say anything that I don't, it doesn't sound like to me.
His evaluation was a positive one, right? And that helped seal the deal for Jerry Jones.
Well, I think the thing is, like anything, you get in these situations. I mean, this is an ongoing process. It happens all the time. I have a routine that I follow in the process as far as my interaction with Will McClay and Steven and on a daily basis, and then Jerry. So so that this was the same process that we went through, and and I think once it gets to the business component of it, the value and so forth, ultimately, those decisions come down to Jerry and Steven.
Doesn't really tell me anything. I mean, it's the same thing he said, right? I mean, it's exactly the same thing. Business decisions come down to that. I just don't know. Look, and it's been pointed out to me that Jerry Jones will stretch the truth occasionally, like he did with Zach Martin. Okay, I get it. We have no money. They found the money. But I just don't understand why he would be so defiant in telling everybody that nobody knew about this. They just did it. Those were his words. They're not my words.
No,
those are Jerry's words.
But when they got on the phone, they didn't get off the phone. When they got on the phone with the San Francisco 49ers, they got the deal done. But Mike McCarthy, a part of the process,
Well, it wasn't hard to get the deal done. Everybody else offering a 6th-round pick, they offer a 4. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'd rather have a 4 than a 6.
All right.
Thank
cool.
you, Jerry.
All right. Well, so Jerry didn't say, well, hang on, let me run this by, because Mike McCarthy said the evaluation part, I'm a big part of that process. Business side of things, I got nothing to do with it.
Well, I would. You can look
and
at
again,
it. Look at all you want. It's really irrelevant at this point in time.
Yes.
But I just don't think Mike McCarthy, it doesn't sound like to me that he was completely on board with this. That's just what it sounds like to me. I don't think he was. And I think he liked what he had. I think the timing stinks. He said as much. And I just don't think that he was necessarily all on board on this thing.
The timing stinks, but he gave the kid a good evaluation. If he didn't like him, he could have told Jerry, man, I can't stand this guy. Don't bring him here. But that's not what he did. And if Will Grier was the guy they thought as the developmental quarterback, then they wouldn't have been in the conversations with Trey Lance to begin with. So clearly, it seems to me that Will Grier was on his way out.
Well,
if
perhaps.
I mean, if they loved Will Grier and thought he was the guy, then they would have kept around. They've had him in the building now for 2 training camps, and they replaced him like that.
I think, well, look, nobody's saying that Trey Lance is the guy. I mean, right? Nobody.
Well, it's a developmental guy. We don't know if they're the guy. That's why you bring them in, see what you have, kick the tires. If they're not what you think they are, you kick them to the curb and you go find another one. The definition of a developmental guy.
But that's fine.
We
Thank
don't
you,
know
Jason,
if he's
for
the
that.
guy.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well,
I appreciate
you
it.
just said we don't know if Trey is the guy.
You
Well,
don't.
Yeah, but we're going to find out.
How are you going to find out?
Well, what do you mean?
So
how are
he
we going to
sits
find
on
out?
the bench the entire
Well,
year.
that's what Will Grier did. And he practices. He watches film.
I'm not a Will Grier, supporter here.
Well, you sound like you're president of the fan club. I mean, you and his mom have coffee.
I got nothing to do with Will Grier. I think, he's a good quarterback. Is he the guy? I don't know. But I don't think Trey Lance is the guy either. He stunk the place up in San Francisco.
But that's it.
He did.
He did.
It was
It
a
was a
mistake,
bust.
and he was. So does he automatically come in here? The guy's 23 years old.
He's 23 years old, and he was a bust with his first team. If he was taken in the 4th round, we wouldn't care. But because he was a number 3 overall pick, the expectations are extremely high. Mike McCarthy, on cutdown day, now has a new quarterback. How do you get that guy in the building and acclimated while you're trying to get ready for the regular season?
Well, you just do the best you can. We have young player meetings for all of our young players. 3 times a week. We do things in the post-practice segments to work with our young players. So obviously he'll be a big part of that. And then any other time that's available, we'll make the best of it.
We'll make the best of it. So in other words, they got this thrown in on us, and we're going to have to try and get this guy ready before the season begins, which is basically what we're saying right here. And hopefully, for the Cowboys' sake, Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush don't both get hurt.
Yeah, well,
I mean, that's really what you're praying for now, because if Dak gets
Colt
hurt,
McCoy's available.
yeah, well, no kidding. I know opinions vary and differ on this thing, but I just think the timing stinks. I think it puts McCarthy in a bind. It upsets your quarterback room. And I don't understand it other than to say it was a Jerry Jones publicity stunt. Had this guy been a 4th round pick, they don't want him. They don't want him.
Well,
the fact that they think he's a 1st round guy, that's why they did it. And that's the only reason he did it.
Well, I mean, he was a 1st round guy. He was taken in the 1st round. They had a 2nd round grade on him. So they were able to pick him up at this point for a 4th round pick to see what they have. And he's a developmental guy. So from that standpoint, I mean, the trade doesn't make a lot of sense from a timing aspect, but all the other parts of it do kind of fall in like, all right. I mean, he's not coming in to push Dak Prescott, Rudy J. Dak Prescott is not on notice. This doesn't put leverage on Dak or give Jerry extra leverage like, Dak, if you don't redo your deal, or let's get your deal done, or we're going to give the keys to the car. And none of that's there.
I've heard all of that from everywhere.
It's development.
I've heard it all from everybody. It's they're bringing him in to have leverage on Dak and his contract, and nobody's doing that. And I'm not a Dak defender. Everybody knows that. But Dak Prescott is a hell of a lot better quarterback, at least at this point in time, than Trey Lance is. I mean, it's just a fact.
That is a fact.
And so he's not coming in to be the replacement for Dak. Even if Dak were to leave next year, I'd be shocked if Trey Lance was that guy.
Well, and Dak isn't going anywhere. We all know that. But Jerry has often said talked about it a lot recently, having that developmental quarterback to see what they have. So they've kind of done that, which tells me that they knew what they had in Will Grier, and they were ready to replace him.
Fair enough.
And it's weird because Friday night, the Trey Lance news comes down, and Will Grier plays his butt off in that game against the Raiders. I mean, he had an incredible game for 31 other teams to audition for, which tells you a lot about Will Grier and the kind of player he is. To go out there and, hey, you're fired after this, but go play a good game.
Well, I mean, it was to his benefit to do that, and I'll give the Cowboys a lot of credit for allowing that. And then it was up to Will Grier to put on the performance that he did. Of course, I heard that too. Once I said Will Grier had to go, well, just get second and third stringers. I thought we heard that about Deuce Vaughn too, did we not? Even when I said it was second and third stringers, then all of a sudden it doesn't count.
Uh-huh.
You heard me.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can call or text if you want to weigh in on what's going on with the Cowboys and the pickup of Trey Lance. But, college football season is about to get underway. Cannot wait. And you look at this time of year, every Monday about this time, we get to visit with the great coach, Jeff Traylor, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach, it's game week, man. Does it feel like game week for you guys over there?
It does. It really does, to be honest with you. No coach talk, I'll be honest with you.
So this little UTSA Houston thing is becoming a thing. I mean, is that a team that not that you look forward to is the wrong thing? And I know we throw around rivalry a little too much, but it's kind of becoming that, is it not?
Well, I'd much rather play somebody that wasn't any good. I would, to be very honest with you. But I think because of the location, San Antonio and Houston being 3.5 hours apart, the history those guys have been playing with down there for so long, and that's been a new upstart program. It's pretty cool. I like all the regional matchups. You know me, I'd rather drive to every game instead of fly one. So I'd like to play all the Texas teams.
Jeff Traylor joining us here on the Blitz, as he will every Monday now that we're in the football season. But you got to be honest. I mean, especially I go back to like the high school coaches on Friday nights when I'm doing games. They like scheduling tough non-district games because that gets them ready for district, gets them ready for playoffs. So you honestly don't want to play a cupcake for this first one. You want to go out there and see where your team is at, don't you?
No, not at all. I want to play a cupcake, and then week 2, I want to play a really good team. Once I've got it on video, I say it all the time to my coaches, and the half of it's being sarcastic, and the other half is being serious. The only reason you practice is so you can go do it in the game, then you screw it up in the game, and then you film it, and you get it cleaned up before week 2. Your greatest game, as long as I've been doing this is 19 years as a head coach, it's in between week 1 and week 2. That week 1, there'll be more upsets. There'll be more scores where everybody's like, what in the heck just happened here? And as the season plays out, things usually get back to normal. But that week 1's always a crazy one.
Jeff, when you go into this game or any first game, as you mentioned, you're playing a good team on the road. When do you know, or is there a time that you know that, yeah, we've prepared and we're ready for this moment?
I've always felt like our kids are ready to play. You just aren't quite sure how good the competition is. So when you go out there, you just quite don't know. I mean, if you'll just go through my brief 3-year history here, Texas State, I didn't know what I had. I had no clue what I had. So I'll go out there, and we go out there like game busters the first half, and we limped home, to say the least, to barely win that game. The next year, you're on the road at Illinois, and you're in Big Ten country. So again, you're like, dang, they just beat Nebraska. Can we compete with these guys? And again, our guys did. And then last year, you got Houston, an unbelievable team at home, in a game that we put ourselves in position to win. We just weren't good enough to close it out, mainly because of coaching errors, some stuff that we were self-inflicted that we've got to get better at.
Jeff Traylor joining us here on the Blitz. Last year, wild game in the Dome to kick off the season. And because of all the changes, now you're going to go play a Big 12 team on the road. Although, their quarterback's now in the NFL, the one you saw last year. And what is there, 42 new guys on that Houston roster? With the portal everywhere, but especially with your first opponent, how hard is it to prepare when you can't just look at last year's tape, knowing that there's so many guys out there? Do you look at certain players and where they came from to watch tape on those individuals? How does the preparation, how is it different this year than maybe in years past?
Just like you said, it's a nightmare because you're just trying to, one, they do a little bit like we do. They change their numbers around a little bit. So you've got 32 last year is now 3, 13 last year is now 0, 24 last year is now 8, 19 last year is now number 1. They also picked up number 21, number 15, number 23, number 16, 26, number 12 in the transfer portal. So now you got to go back through that and watch those kids. Their quarterback was Texas Tech quarterback last year. So now you're watching Texas Tech beat Texas and Texas Tech beat Houston. Texas Tech beat Houston because that's where their quarterback was last year. So, yeah, just that little 2-minute tidbit probably got y'all's head spinning just hearing my words.
Yeah, no question. It is spinning. Yes, It is. So I feel bad for you
There's
going through all that.
There's a test later.
You know what, though, Jeff?
What's sad is how ignorant I am as a human, but I can remember all that. That's very weird.
It's a sickness, right?
It's a pressure
That's
moment.
why you're great
Coach.
at what you do.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, look, normally you talk to knuckleheads like me and Jason. The first thing we're going to ask you is, who's your starting quarterback? You don't have to answer that question.
No, praise the Lord. That is a great comfort. Now, I will say up until the month of probably July, I wasn't sure. And it was probably the best kept secret in San Antonio of just what he was going through. But luckily, Dr. D, saw him on the field, saw him hobbling around, said, Jeff, I think I can fix that kid. I said, well, it ain't me you got to convince. You got to convince Frank, Miss Talitha, and Daryl. If you convince those 3, you got a shot. And we had a meeting. They talked him into doing one more surgery, and thank goodness for that surgery. He got much better in the month of June and then July and August. He had his best practice Sunday night, so I'm feeling a lot better about that.
Most of us have no idea what quarterbacks go through, especially a quarterback like Frank Harris. I don't know if you watched that documentary on Netflix called Quarterback, but I think it gave fans an inside look at the preparation part. But reading up Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine today online, Frank Harris actually said told you guys he was medically retired. I mean, I don't know how you guys kept that thing a secret. Congratulations.
Well, everybody has so much respect for Frank. There wasn't a player going to talk about it. There wasn't a coach going to talk about it. It just showed you the respect he has that you can keep something that quiet. And he's as popular an athlete as there is in the city, maybe than the legends, for the Spurs. I don't know who else would be a bigger story than Frank. But he was done. And I just said, Frank, let's just see what it looks like in June. And we trended up. And I said, let's just see what it looks like in July. We trended up more. And then I knew he was ready to roll again. And he looked good. He looked good Sunday night. So I'm really thrilled to have him back. And like I've said before, I'm not going to put him out there if he's not right. But he had gotten to the point in his own mind, he wasn't going out there because he knew he wasn't right.
Well, and he still has the desire to play. And I've got to imagine you as a coach, even with all the new guys, with the unknowns about Houston, with everything going on, going into this first game, to have Frank Harris leading the charge has just got to be a huge comfort for you as a head coach.
Well, he just breathes such confidence in so many people. I mean, as long as Zero's behind that center, it doesn't matter how much time's up in the game, what the score is. Somehow we've been so spoiled to watch this. It reminds me as a kid of me watching Roger Staubach. No matter what the score was, I thought the Cowboys were going to win somehow. Well, that's how Frank Harris is with the Roadrunners. He breathes confidence into every assistant coach, every player, the head coach, the commentators, the fans. We believe we've got a chance with Zero back there at quarterback. He'll be the first one to tell you it's not all him, but he's the straw that stirs the drink for sure.
It certainly is. And, the expectations as you move into a new conference, the accolades that you're getting, I'm sure you were watching Game Day Saturday, and if you weren't, you've seen the clips. Pat McAfee, birds up. I mean, the fact that in a very short amount of time since your arrival in San Antonio, you've got the UTSA Roadrunners on the national map.
Yeah, I know you've heard me say it 10 trillion times, man, but your dreams should be so large, your prayer life has to match it. So when your dreams come true, no human gets the credit. It's got to be the Lord. This story has been more than a miracle. It's a bunch of kids that have bought into a goofy dude from East Texas in a great city and a great university with a bunch of great players. They've won a lot of great ball games for us. And I think we're just getting started, man. I really do. I understand we're in the AAC now. We're behind in a lot of areas, but we're not behind in effort and talent. And I know we'll get caught up soon.
Coach, good luck on Saturday against Houston. We'll be watching.
Appreciate y'all so much. God bless. Birds up.
Birds up for sure. Jeff Traylor joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. That game on FS1 Saturday night.
So many things to talk to him about. I was going to bring up Trey Lance, but I mean, I guess I didn't have time.
Well, we're definitely out of time. It's an early release kind of day. The second place Texas Rangers in action.
Wow, second place.
Yeah, Seattle is caught them and passed them. And the Astros. Well, the Astros and Rangers are tied. They're a game back. The Mariners are just on fire right now. It's ridiculous. Rob and Rudy tomorrow morning, 6 to 10. The Blitz back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Rangers baseball now.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite